The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
A lot of wide receivers are being mocked to the Jets in both the first round and the second round. Today, we're breaking down two of the popular wide receivers that could be Jets in round 2 or maybe in late round 1. Lot to talk about with the New York Jets. Joe Blewett is my guest for a film review. And oh yeah, Briga versus Gary and ASMANIAC Madness. It's all happening. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Wish you could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Show number 2 on the day. If you missed the first one, check out the full conversation with the great Robbie Sabo. It is beautiful in New York City. Hopefully, it is beautiful 9 days from today when the New York Jets are on the clock with pick number 2 and pick number 16. A lot to get into with our guest. I want to remind everyone we are presented by PrizePicks. And speaking of the draft, look, by now you know we're having a draft party. But if you're on the fence, whether or not you want to join us, just do it. Join us in Pittsburgh. Free draft party, free to attend the NFL draft through the NFL. Make it a fun day. Let's go. Drive to Pittsburgh. You might live in the area. I don't know, but I can promise you this. We're going to have a great time. Doors open at noon. We'll be there throughout the day. I'll be live in the afternoon and live after the Jets make their picks that night. So join us 9 days from now at McFadden's in Pittsburgh. With that, we say hello to our guy, Joe Blewett from JetX and JetsXFactor.com. Joe, you heard me just say it. 9 days till the draft. Thank God.
Yeah, 9 days away. I just checked while you were saying that, actually. I started recording Fernando Mendoza plays in mid-October. So we've been talking about this for 6 months. So yes, please God, get here. Another 9 days is going to drag, but 6 months of draft talk is the longest I've ever talked for the draft. So please God, can we get it over with and just see who they actually draft and trade up or trade down or don't take, whatever. I'm excited to break down whoever they do yet.
I am pumped up. I certainly can't wait to see what they do. It's going to be awesome being there, interacting with so many Jet fans. And look, there's been a lot of talk about the Jets trading up for a wide receiver, just taking one at 16, potentially doubling up at wide receiver. So we've been doing film breakdowns on a bunch of the top guys. That will continue today when we break down two guys that, you know, I would say there's a good chance they could be a Jet. Omar Cooper Jr. has been linked to the Jets, and so is Casey Concepcion from Texas A&M. So we're going to do film review on both guys. Before we even get into that, though, you've studied the tape on so many of these draft classes the last several years. We keep hearing how deep receiver is in this year's class. Your thoughts just on that? How does it compare to some of the other classes? Like, what type of player could the Jets potentially be getting here compared to some of the other classes you've seen?
Yeah, I don't think it's as top heavy as other classes, right? Like there's no Harrison Jr., there's no Neighbors in this class or anything, or Jamar Chases or anything like that. So I don't think it's the top heaviest class in the world, but the draft, especially with the way that college football is played nowadays and how spread out it is, there's going to be receivers available every single year. So like rounds 2 through 4, it seems like it's pretty stacked up with receivers. So I know a lot of fans want the receiver at potentially trading up or at 16, but you can see them doubling up potentially, 33. What's the fourth round pick? Like 103, 104, whatever it is. Maybe something the Jets look to do. I prefer a receiver at the minimum in the top 4 picks, but the depth of the class seems to be pretty good. But with that being said, I'm on the trade. I've been on the trade since I think maybe January of trading up for a receiver. I'm still there. I'm hoping they do it. I know people are, the Jets need 4 starters, but it's not guaranteed. If you can get me 2 studs at the top of the draft, give me 2 studs. I know that everybody in the mock draft simulators, like that guy at 44, Brazil at 44 is always going to work out, but it's not guaranteed. So if they really identify a guy they like, I'm okay with getting or giving up a second round pick to land. In my mind, it's going to be Tate. I know that's been a big discussion point this last few days.
I covered it this morning because Daniel Jeremiah did, in fact, mock the Jets doing exactly that, moving up from 16, using pick 44 of round 2 to headline a trade up to number 7. Let's just talk about it from a broad perspective. Carnell Tate, your thoughts on him as a prospect and whether or not it would be worth it for the Jets to make the type of deal that Daniel Jeremiah proposed in his latest mock.
Yeah, I'm a little bit. I would say I'm a little not like out there on Tate, but I'm leading his fan bandwagon, I guess. He's the number 2 player in the draft for me, so I would take him over everybody that's not Reese in this draft. So if you're telling me you can get my number 1 and 2 player in the draft, now transparently, I didn't do all the offensive linemen. I didn't do Delaney or anything like that. The corner, because I just didn't think it was a real possibility at 16, even though it honestly may be just based on how the board falls. But yeah, Tate's my number 2. Lemon's a pretty close 2 to him. I just think his ability with contested catches and stuff translates because he's a little bit bigger. I'm hoping he can add a little bit more weight to get off of the press coverage and stuff. And I get it. Like he ran a 4.5, but you look at 4.5, high 4.4s, whatever it was. You look at most of the top receivers in the NFL. Most of them are around that, high 4.4s, high 4.5s. If it was just speed that mattered, John Ross would be good. Arian Smith would be would be good. So, I really, really like Tate. So yeah, if you can nab him at 7 for just pick 44, I am 1,000%, not even just down. I urge them to do that. I know, again, people are going to hate that. You suck if you want to trade up. You suck if you want to trade down. If you want to stick and pick, you suck. Everybody sucks nowadays. But to me, if you could secure that level of talent, and again, like I don't think he's a Neighbors. I don't think he's a Chase. People will say that like, oh, well, you can't trade that much up for a number 2. I think he's a perennial 1,000+ yard guy, near 10 touchdowns to this offense. We just saw 29, a year for Alec Pierce. So if you can get a legit, really good number 2, I think it's worth it. And you have to evaluate this all individually, right? Like this is not a great draft class at the top. So if you can trade up and get a guy who you think is going to be a stud, then do it. I don't think he's in that Chase or Neighbors level. Like I said before, I think as prospects, he's more of like that Garrett Wilson, Drake London level-y player where he could be like, 9, 10, he could be low teens. But in this draft class, I think that's a slam dunk. It's just not the strongest at the top.
I think that's great insight, and that is a perfect segue to starting to break down some film during today's show. If you're watching live, hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I want to thank the ASMANIAC community. We are almost at 45,000 subscribers. We're at 44,964. So maybe by next week, during the NFL draft, we will hit 45K. Big thank you to everyone for their support. We're talking receiver today on the show. So guess what? We're raffling away an awesome prize. End of the stream to anyone who enters. A signed Keyshawn Johnson helmet is up for grabs for any ASMANIAC who enters. I want to shout out Derek, the Jet fan. He was the first to enter the raffle during the show. He is in for 1. Let's go, Derek. Give him a Jet chant. Hit it. Derek, thank you very much. Also, ASMANIAC Madness is coming up, and Janice Jet has already voiced major support for One Punch Dave Briga, a $50 super chat. Janice wrote, vote for Mr. Dave Briga, a man of integrity, reason, and achievement. How about that? Janice Jet paying it forward for Dave Briga. I cannot wait to see this battle unfold. It is going to be wild.
ASMANIAC Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Polls will open in just a little while, so stay tuned for that. All right, Joe, let's break down some film. Final film breakdown that you and I will do on the show before the draft next week. Next week, we'll just go through your final big board and address the latest draft rumors 2 days out from this thing. But we're going to break down 2 prospects today. Everyone now can see your screen. We're going to start with Omar Cooper Jr., who lit it up this year for the national champs, and Fernando Mendoza, of course. So whenever you're ready, let's break down some film on Cooper, who did, in fact, take a top 30 visit with the Jets yesterday. So he is definitely in play at either 16, 33, or potentially maybe the Jets trade back into round 1 to take him.
Yeah, and Jake, I don't know if it's my audio or not, but you were cutting in and out a little bit. So I don't know if you need to reset the StreamYard. I'm not sure if other people are hearing that, but it sounded a little bit robotic. But yeah, with Cooper, and hopefully, I don't know if Jake's gonna reset. I can't see anything. But maybe I have the screen. I can't see you. No, I can see you, but like with the film up, I can't see you. But your audio was choppy, so I don't know if that was just me or not. If it wasn't just me, I apologize. Yeah, so with Cooper, I like Cooper. It seems like over the last like 3 weeks, he just suddenly became like that fourth guy no matter what, when a few weeks before that he was kind of like in the Concepcion. It could be Bernard, it could be Brazil, and then he suddenly just elevated. So I like Cooper, and he's kind of like at the floor of what I would want at 16, or what I would be okay with at 16. Not even want. So I think transparently it'd be a little bit of a reach at 16. We'll look at some of the film of him. You look at some of the stats. He had, I think, like 30% of his yards came against Kennesaw State and Michigan State. So some easy situations. I think like 25% of his touchdowns came in those two games as well. So against some inferior competition. He played about 80% in the slot, so a lot of free releases and stuff. But you love the yak, you love the acceleration, the speed. He's pretty good at winning vertically. So he's an intriguing prospect. I just don't think he's some slam dunk at 16 like some other people do. And I feel like I've been kind of dumping on prospects more so than gassing them up. Concepcion, I'm going to gas him up a little bit. I actually like Concepcion as my receiver 3, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But some of the problems with him, he used to be a little bit of an inconsistent route runner. I don't think he's the most explosive out of his breaks. Can body catch it a little bit, and then he played mostly in the slot again, which is one of my concerns with him, that he's going to be a slot guy. Now, I think the year prior he played a little bit more to the outside. Transparently, I did not watch any 2024. I only watched 25, so I always want to give that caveat. But I'm going to show you like 5 good, 3 bad of him, and same thing for Concepcion. And like you said, Jake, we're not doing a film review two days before the draft, because nobody cares at this point. Can you imagine 2 days before the draft? It's just like nobody's going to really care about a vague Ione breakdown or anything like that. But I'll show you some of the good stuff of Cooper. Obviously, Yaks can come into play. And I'm not just watching targets or anything like that. I'm watching plays. I'm watching every single rep of the game. And this route, he does a really good job of getting open versus this deep DB. It's probably a safety in this situation. But we'll watch the play and then we'll talk about it again. He doesn't get targeted here, but it's a good route by him. And I think he's pretty good, or he's consistently pretty good at winning vertically. And here, it's pretty small little nuance that he uses here to get open. And really it's 2 steps where he gets open here. And it's one, when he comes off the ball here, he stems a little bit to the inside, which is just like the vertical stem before you break in, before you break out, whatever it may be. So he stems a little bit to the inside to get the DB thinking that, okay, he's running a skinny post, a slice, deep over, whatever it may be. And we'd see the DB start to kind of shuffle to the inside a little bit and then open his hips up. As he opens his hips up, he undercuts them and is open on the outbreaker on that corner. Looks like they just run like a scissors concept. But the little nuance of the footwork here is nice as well from Cooper. And again, I think he's pretty good at winning vertically. So we could see his shoulders are down, right? Initially selling the drive phase, which is like the first 5 to 10 yards. You want to sell vertical. What he uses here is a hop step. So he goes left step, right foot hovers and never touches the ground. Left step to the right again. And it's a very small nuance, but it's kind of just changing up the pacing of the route, where basically if the DB expecting the outbreak, he had to take an extra like half a step and be probably a little bit closer to the DB. So it's just changing up a little bit of the route pacing, gets outside on that corner route and is open. Obviously the ball is not there. But he roasts that DB, right? Like this is a spot that you wanna be in. So good vertical route runner. Again, a little bit of the problem too with him is that, okay, hey, he's playing an RPO heavy offense. A lot of it's short, so it's not the most pro style type of offense, but let's keep watching. Top outside slot, win vertically. Okay. So he's right here to the top slot against, again, a DB in off coverage, probably a corner this time. And he does a good job with a pacing here. Again, wins vertically, isn't targeted, but I don't care. Clearly, he wins that route, right? So we don't have to look at only targets, only catches, touchdowns, things like that. So this DB, he's using his stem again. You can see he kind of starts near like the bottom of the numbers. He stems them outside just to move him a little bit to the outside because it's an in-breaking route, right? So he stems them to the outside. As he kind of closes ground, we're going to see shoulders down. Right here, right? Shoulders are down, really selling that we're running a vertical route. And the shoulders come up. And when the shoulders come up, DBs are going to look at that and they're going to think, okay, obviously it could be a double move, it could still be a vertical, but typically it's going to be, okay, a break is coming, whether it be inside break, outside break, breaking back to the quarterback. So comes up, stabs to the outside, which hits the DB to bite a little bit to the outside, freezes the feet, and he uses good like a good swim move, club arm over right here to clear the hands. wins very clearly vertical, right? So if Mendoza was to target him here, we're talking about probably a 70-yard touchdown or whatever would be 74-yard touchdown right there for Cooper. So that's what we call like route pacing. When we talk about, okay, he's not using proper route pacing or he's not playing with his route pacing. This type of stuff is what we're talking about, like going from fast to slow, raising the shoulders, stabbing to the outside. It's all nuance, all the nuances in route running that win you reps. And this is something that Carnell Tate does consistently very well. It's just how good he is at route running. It's pretty ridiculous to me. So 3 more plays left of the positive from him. He's the bottom slot right here. There's really nothing crazy about like breaking this play down. It's a one-handed catch with some yak. So it's just showing off some of the ability he has. Now, not the tallest guy in the world. He's 6'2", so it's not like he's going to have the largest catch radius in the world. But he does do a good job of using every inch he possibly has of the catch radius. So again, not the biggest in the world, but he does a good job of obviously securing that ball, right? We're talking about breaking, 1.5 tackles there. Thiemann actually brings him down at the end right there. But hell of a catch by Cooper here. Let me just drag it a little bit so you can kind of see like full extension to the ball, one-handed, secures it, breaks 1 tackle, picks up an extra, let's call it 7 yards because of it. So get to the last 2 ones. Bam step. Okay. So a little bit more nuance in the route running, which I like from him. I think he can be inconsistent as a route runner though. And we'll see that a little bit or in a couple minutes. He's to the bottom right here as I go with this bunch, but he's in the bottom inside slot. And we'll talk about the route a little bit. I'm not even sure if he gets the ball here, honestly, but it's a really good route. Yeah, so he doesn't get the ball there. But what he does is he uses a bam step at the top, which I'll talk about. So it's, again, a little nuance at the top of your route breaks that he uses, which can sell a DB to the inside. So obviously he stems heavy to the inside here, right? You're not sure who's picking him up. It looks like they may be, I don't want to throw out a bunch of like stupid terms, but like banjoing or top hatting it, whatever they may be doing. So he's not sure exactly who's going to take him. So dives to the inside, and that may be by design regardless, but dives to the inside, right? Sees that 22 right here is starting to work towards him. Dips the shoulder right here, but you want to reduce your chest as best you can, because obviously a hand onto the shoulder, a hand onto the back is not going to impede our forward progress like a hand to the chest would. So dips the shoulder, good job there. We can see kind of rips through that right arm of the DB. And then what he uses here at the top of the route is a bam step. So he's in a head fake to his left. He's in a head fake away from the way he's breaking, and elbow jam opposite. Okay. So head fake to the left, right? He's breaking to the right. He's then going to pull this elbow back as hard as he can, and that's going to help his torso and his hips open up over his toe. I know, again, nerdy stuff, but this is what you're trying to look at with these guys. Is he using like stacked bam steps? Is he not? So again, head fake, pull that elbow back like he does right here, and you can see he's pretty tight. Get the toe pointed, and he does a good job of getting over those toes and breaking to the outside. So a good, again, more of a vertical route from Cooper. 24, this is last positive play with some straight up yak. Again, this is an easy one. He's to the bottom. I think he just runs like a hitch or a curl. Who really cares? It's off coverage. And then you're just going to see he does that all the time to dudes. It's pretty fun to watch, where he undercuts guys, where he'll accelerate and his acceleration is really real. And then guys will try to match him, and then he'll undercut him and picks up an extra 5 or 6 yards because of that. Obviously, NFL guys maybe not fall for it as much as some college guys do, but obviously elite body control, etc. there from Cooper. So that is it for the positive. Let me get into the negative. I have 3 negative plays here real quick, and then we'll get into some Concepcion or whatever else. As second release drive phase. Okay, I think he's to the top right here, top slot versus DB in off coverage. Let's watch it, and we'll talk about it a little bit. I don't think he's the most consistent route runner in the world. There with some of the nuance and like drive phase and route pacing and tempoing routes, I think he can be a little bit inconsistent. And here we could see like he's coming off the ball pretty damn slow there. Now, if we are going to try to like in break, again, we could play with tempo, slow to fast, fast to slow, whatever it is, but he comes off the ball very slow right here. His shoulders are up the entire time, and he just like shortens his stride at the top of the break right there, and then tries to break to the inside and then push past the DB's arms right here. The DB isn't threatened at all. Like DB barely moves here. The entire rep doesn't threaten him vertically, doesn't use that speed, allows the hands to land on him. And now that route is covered. So I saw a little bit too much of this, where it's a little bit like slow paced off the ball. And again, just inconsistent with the tempo and stuff. 2 plays left. bottom inside slot, bad corner, pacing, not enough ground covered, I guess I'm talking about. So he's right here, the number 3, the inside slot versus this DB. Clearly we're showing man, right? We're going man across the board here from Oregon. And let's watch the route here from Cooper. And it's covered up. I know the ball is out pretty quickly here, but in terms of the route, again, there's not a lot of explosion off the ball right here. And then when we do stem towards a DB, or when we're working towards a DB, we do want to get on his toes. We want to threaten leverage, whether it be inside, outside, or whatever it may be, at least the minimum, get on the toes. Right here, a good 3 yards off, 2.5 yards off. He's not really going to affect the DB very much. DB is able to open up with him, match the break, and his route is covered. Again, I just don't see the consistent nuance there from him. 25. And there's some mental lapses. Like sometimes he can catch the ball with his body. There are some times where he doesn't fight back to the ball, which I don't always love. And I know his blocking got like rave reviews, and I think it's more like numbers wise, but there was actually some reps. I actually thought he was a little bit more hot and cold than people thought he was. There were some reps I saw great effort, and there were some reps where he's kind of a little more passive. So I think the block technique, and when he wants to, it's good, but it's a little bit more hot and cold than I like it to be. So last play of Cooper, and this is just him not fighting back to the ball, and then DB gets the deflection because of it. Okay, so like very simple stuff, right? Like we know we need to work back to the ball, we need to come to the ball at full extension. Runs this route. One, it's not the best break in the world. He's kind of turning out of it. You see how his toe is pointed inside, so he's not committing fully to the break. It's there's a little bit of dead time at the top, and then past that, we want to attack the ball, right? We corners in off man, but we didn't really get him to open up or anything like that. So we have to work back to it, extend towards it. He lets the ball work towards him. DB gets the deflection. So with Cooper, again, I like him. I do not love him at 16. He would be the floor of what I would be okay with, but I'd rather go in a different direction. I feel like he's more typically in like normal drafts, a bottom of the first round, early second type of guy. 16, again, transparently a little bit of a reach, but considering with what this class is, he would be the floor of what I would be okay with.
Fair breakdown. Good stuff from Joe Blewett on Omar Cooper Jr. If you have a comment or a question related to Cooper, write it in, and we will bring that up before we get to KC Concepcion. I wonder, Joe, there's been a lot of talk about the Jets having to potentially decide between Cooper and Kenyon Sadiq if like the big 3 receivers are off the board and they can't find a trade partner at a 16. Yeah. What would you do then? Would you take Cooper over Sadiq? Because I know we did Sadiq, I think last week or 2 weeks ago on the show. Where do you have Cooper? Where do you have Sadiq?
Yeah, so Cooper's like and again, transparently, I didn't put Mendoza in most of my list. I didn't do Delane. I didn't do who's the other injured? McCoy. I didn't do like Fano or Lemieux or whatever. So I didn't do a lot of the offensive linemen and receivers, or offensive linemen. And the corners, and I also skipped out on Thielman and McNeil Warren just because I messaged Shams, your guy too, and he just at this point he still has another like 10 reviews to put out in the next 10 days, so he's a little bit stacked up, so I couldn't even do it. But to me, it's Cooper. Again, Cooper would be I don't want to say it 1,000 times, but the floor of what I would be okay with. Sadiq to me is a reach. It's purely based on his athleticism and upside, but the film it's not there. A lot of the like the yak and stuff with Sadiq, I want to see a little bit more. I see the potential there, but Sadiq to me is pretty much a pure upside swing. So I wouldn't touch him at 16. I saw the stuff on the podcast you have with Samini, like you guys tweeted out and stuff, that he's saying he'd be gone before the Jets pick. Please, God, please take him. If a team is willing to do that, fine with me. Again, he could be a good player, but he's just not in that Warren, Loveland, Bowers class to me. It's a pure upside swing. So absolutely not. Cooper 100 times out of 100 over Sadiq.
Lasso writes, and Cooper had success against some of the best corners / defenses in college football.
Yeah. So I purposely pulled up the list. So he had 5 receptions, 71 yards against Miami. Against Oregon, he had 3 receptions for 17 yards. Against Alabama, he had 3 receptions for 45 yards. Against Ohio State, he had 0 catches for 0 yards. And then it's Purdue 3 for 64, Wisconsin 3 for 69, Penn State 6 for 32. So what are we talking? What are we talking about in terms of the games he dominated? Again, Michigan State 8 for 115, Indiana State 10 for 207, and he had 900 yards. So again, 30% of his yards came against really bad teams, and the other games you watch against good teams, he's not doing as much. And again, to me, when I'm watching him, it looked like a decent amount of the yards were like easy. Like I could show you yak plays where he picks up 50, 60 yards and he's just not touched. And some of it's because of his speed, which great. But to me, I didn't see him. I didn't see it rep by rep for me to be consistent, like to be impressed enough with him to take him at 16. So again, unless I'm missing games, and transparently, I said I didn't watch 2024. Maybe he dominated Miami in 2024. I don't know that. I can't watch every single game, but in 2025, I didn't see him produce against any really good defense. Just transparently, I watched 5 or 6 games. You go over the stats against some of the other teams, and it just wasn't there.
Good question from Duncan, who goes, with any of these receivers, how does the quality of opponent play into your video assessments?
Yeah, you have to assess that, no doubt. So like you want to see them, if they're playing like some small school, you want to see them dominate against big schools. You want to see them hold their own, but you have to watch. And then this is some of my problem with like when I watched Bailey or whoever else. It's like, hey, would this rep work versus an NFL tackle? Would this rep work versus an NFL cornerback? You can't just be like, oh, he's beating some random corner from Kennesaw State. This is going to work against, you know, whoever it's going to be, Christian Gonzalez. Like it doesn't work like that. So you undoubtedly have to weigh who they're playing in against. If you don't, then, you know, what are we doing here? So that's a great question. You undoubtedly have to evaluate that as well.
Comments, questions, super chats. They will cut the line. Super chat from Bino. It's time. It's Briga time. At achievement for all. One punch. Dave Briga against Gary 3D Boxing. It's coming up. You better be around to vote. The time to vote is not quite yet. We have KC Concepcion film to break down, and then the polls will open. And for those awesome giveaway today, we're talking receivers. Jets trading up for one, drafting multiple. They took a receiver first overall. How about that? Keyshawn Johnson signed helmet is our raffle prize at the end of the show. When you enter, you're in for Saturday's weekly raffle, which features a signed Darrelle Revis football, Garrett Wilson helmet, and a Wayne Corbett autographed football. Comments, questions, your super chats. We'll cut the line. Joe Blewett, whenever you're ready, we can break down the film on your number 3 receiver in this class, Texas A&M wideout, KC Concepcion.
Yeah, for me with Concepcion, I just don't like. There's obviously the drops, right? I think he had 5 3 years ago, 7 last year, and 10 this year. I know that Jordan Addison had a higher drop rate in college. I know Zay Flowers had a higher drop rate in college. And to defend him a little bit, again, just giving context, like I have no reason to like Concepcion over Cooper or anything like that. It's just what you watch. And like Duncan asked, like, hey, when you're watching these guys, you have to evaluate the talent they're playing against. Yes, you also have to evaluate their talent. Evaluate the talent they're playing with. And Texas A&M quarterback, I forget his name off the top of my head. He is atrocious. So there were some plays where Cooper should have had a 60-yard touchdown, should have had a much easier catch, and this quarterback just did not make it easy for him very, very consistently. So I get the drop concerns, but if you actually look at a lot of numbers, like minus the drop rate being awful, the drop rate in college doesn't necessarily translate to NFL and like not working out. And again, with the quarterback he's playing, 2 less drops and he's near the average. I think he had 10 this year. The average is like 7.5, 8, whatever it is. So 2 drops is not going to move me off of this guy, especially considering who his quarterback was. And he was just awful. Like I've watched plenty of receivers and this quarterback was atrocious. And I don't think his family's listening or anything like that, but if they are, maybe they know anyway. But yeah, so let's watch Concepcion. I'll show you why he's my receiver 3. Now, transparently, if Tyson was healthy, if he had a clean bill of health, teams weren't worried about him, he'd be my receiver 3. The medicals move him down to 5. He just sketches me out so much with how much he's been injured over the last couple of years that Tyson's my 5. Could easily be my 3, and I think he has the highest ceiling in the class. Okay, so just for some context, that's why he's my 3. But I would be okay with him at 16. And if he's there at 33, I'm running up the card, me personally. So let's look at like 5 or 6 really good plays, 3 bad plays. And I feel people eager to get to the Briga matchup. They're like, get me through this. So I feel that, trust me. But nonetheless, on the bottom here.
Hey, we can't see it. Share it on your end.
Oh, my bad. Okay, let's see. Share. 2 seconds. But yeah, I think he needs to be brought into that conversation. It's like, oh, it's Cooper. There's people I respect too who have Concepcion as their 3 or even their 2, which I'm not there yet with Cooper or with Concepcion, but really past the drops, like he has okay deep speed and he's like 5'11", 195, 200, whatever he is. So he's not the strongest guy in the world, like not gonna have the best contested catch radius or catch radius in general, but he wins. He can win short, he can win intermediate, he can win deep. He's lightning. He has the best releases in the class too, and that's better than Tate, that's better than Lemon, that's better than Tyson, that's better than Cooper. He has the best releases, bar none, in the class to me, in terms of getting off of press and things like that. So I really like Concepcion. So I know I kind of dumped on Sadiq a little bit. I dumped on Cooper, but here's the positive in Concepcion. So to the bottom of the screen right here, you can just see how sudden he is and how quick he is. And, obviously the quarterback finds him there, but he does a really good job as a route runner, again, especially with his releases. And this release, he's just taking it more. Obviously, it's an inside breaking route, right? Or he wants to win inside leverage. So comes off the ball, strides to the outside, right? We see him at the top of the numbers, and he's kind of working towards the middle of the numbers. Very controlled feet. Shorten strides, right? So they're not full stride lengths. He's trying to get on the DB's toes as best he can while maintaining the control of his lower half. The longer strides you take, the less control you have of your body. So if you can short stride a guy, one, you're threatening two ways, but you're also giving yourself the ability to break quicker. Breaks to the inside. We see the hands come out. Swims them, club arm. I like to call it club arm over. Swims a little bit different to me, but swim, club arm over, defeats that inside arm of the DB. Pushes vertical, calls for the ball, shows the quarterback his eyes. Hey, I'm open. Quarterback puts it on him. Takes a shot, but obviously a very good vertical win, quick vertical win right there for Concepcion, who has really he's explosive. Again, I think Cooper is faster than he is, like deep speed, but in terms of explosion and quickness, I don't think it's a contest to me. Shuffle release to the top right here from Concepcion. Let's watch it versus DB and press, who's like heads up, which means just he's even to him. And he does a good job here again. So now we have short stride releases. That was a shuffle release, which we'll talk about. Quarterback overthrows him, of course. And again, there should have been a 60-yard touchdown for him right here if the quarterback just doesn't simply, miss him, which happened again quite a bit. So I know people will look at the stats and be like, oh, whatever it was, 900 yards, 5 touchdowns. But if the quarterback was just capable, I think he has another 3, 4, 5 touchdowns and probably another 200 to 300 yards, like relatively easily. This is 60 yards right here. So does a good job here with the release. We're just going to call this a shuffle release, which is like subsequent lateral movements. And he just wants to widen this guy out again for an inside vertical release. So playing a little bit with like his helmet, his pad level, high, shortened stride with the shuffle release to the outside right there. DB starts to shuffle to match it. Again, club to that inside arm, so he can't slingshot himself back onto the route, which basically means, okay, I'm gonna get my right hand into the chest and I'm gonna match the route, by ways of my arm kind of pulling me into the route. Wins vertically pretty easily. Again, not the best deep speed in the world, but this is a ball that should be on him for at least a huge gain. So really, really good job with the suddenness right there in the short release. Again, tempoing, like kind of slowed to fast paced near that break. So good job there. Still release. He doesn't get the ball here. It's actually a run. But I like that he's like a little bit feisty here. You see some of the feisty nature of him. And what I call this is just stealing a release. So whether like when it's like a run play, if you can just release, and some guys will play with it a little bit like, hey, does he respond to a shuffle release or does he respond to a hop step, skip step, whatever releases he's using, he can kind of play with it right here. But bottom of the screen, he dices up this cornerback a little bit. Now the ball doesn't get to him, but you could see he roasts this DB and kind of talks a little bit of shit after, which I like from Concepcion. So foot fire release, again, a little bit of the finger point there, some trash talk. He roasts them here. And the ball is ran, but he's in man coverage right here. He has no idea the ball is being ran. So I'm still going to look at it as, okay, it's a good release from him on this route. And we've seen the shuffle release. Now we've seen the short stride, and now we have like more of a foot fire. And short strides and foot fire can look very similar. Foot fire is basically just going to be, you're not really covering any ground when you're throwing your feet like this. So again, just allowing him to gather information, threatening a two-way go, hard stab to the outside. We'd see the DB starts to sink back onto his toes, right? Weight forward, hard stab, gets him to sink back. Now he's not on balance to match an inside breaking route. Would have cooked him on a slant route there. Ball isn't thrown. Point at him, talk some shit. I just cooked you off the line, whatever it may be. 3 plays left of the positive for him, and I'll get into some of the negative. Concepcion, bottom, dig, push off, and open. Okay, so ball doesn't get to him here on this play, but it's a really good dig to the bottom versus DB in off coverage. And again, he's a nuanced route runner in many ways, in my opinion, with the releases, with vertical wins, with intermediate wins. And this is what I consider more intermediate. So comes off the ball here, right? Stems towards the DB. DB's a little bit outside leverage, so works towards him. Now, obviously, it's an inside breaking route, so at some point he's got to take this route to the inside. So he takes it to the inside, right here. Okay, but this last step right here pushes vertical. So inside stem, you see that right step right there pushes vertical. Just that movement right there is pushing the DB vertical, allowing himself to break quicker inside. So you don't want to just break to the inside here and then just continue to the inside, right? Because then DB is going to be on your hip. So what you want to do is at the last second, or what he does here is at the last second, pushes into him, pushes off, which opens up the route, right? Like this is not where you want your DB to be in coverage. So hell of a route there from Concepcion. Again, he's not targeted, but that is a very, very good route right there from him, taking that one vertical step back into the DB. 2 plays of the positive and 3 negative. Concepcion win deep, skip step, hands, track, hit. Okay. So very top of the screen. And by the way, I think he was 10 for 15 contested catches this year too. So it's not like his hands are bad. He can't contested catch either. He had a 66% rate, which is pretty good. I don't think that was true for his years prior, but he also had the highest drop rate. So does a good job here winning deep, right? Ball is up, safety closing ground, takes the shot, is still able to track that ball and catch it. So it's not like he can't catch in contested situations, but he does a good job here. Again, he wants to win that inside release, so he stems a little bit to the outside here, a little bit to the outside. I say he uses a skip step. Let me see. Right? No, he doesn't use it. Well, yeah. Okay, so it's not a hop step. So we go right stride, left half stride to right stride. I call that a skip step because he's not taking his full left stride right here. It's a half stride. Stab to the outside. We can see the DB starts to kind of throw his weight back, and he's going to break to the outside, defeat the arms, swim, club arm over, wins vertically. Again, ball is there, contested catch situation, brings it in through the hit. Last play of the positives. Concepcion bottom, stairs, and push off. Okay, so he's right here, verse number 8, the corner. Does a good job again, just immediately diving to the inside right there, and that's what I call using stair steps. I don't know what the hell happens at the top here in terms of like the route design of how this is supposed to be, because this is not what it's supposed to be. I don't know exactly what happens. He pushes too vertical, whatever it may be. But it's a good route by Concepcion here. Again, inside release, and what he does is take what we call stair steps, which again is just going to hold your DB off from your break point. So we could see he releases to the inside, and then we're going to see stair steps. So breaking inside of the field, we're going to go 3 vertical steps, I believe. 1, 2, 3. Snap it down, push off, break to the inside, and he's open, right? Obviously, the ball's targeted to the curl or whatever it is, but a very good route by him, again, using those stair steps. So he's just very well-rounded to me. So I like him quite a bit. The size, all that stuff. Yeah.
I like him more than I thought I was going to like him in this review.
He's just, again, like, show me where, minus the drops, show me where he loses consistently. Like, yeah, his deep speed's not the best, but he can win everywhere. Like, and I don't think it's very close, bar none. I think he's the best releases in the class too. I don't think he lacks toughness or anything like that. What I think happens sometimes on the drops, and we'll see it through this. And again, it's not like he had 20 drops. He had 10, which is like 2 or 3 off of the average, but consider the quarterback he's playing with. So he'd have, maybe, again, 200-300 more yards with a better quarterback. He's to the top right here, and I think he just like knifes to the inside like a slant or an in or whatever it is. His drops typically come from like him thinking either body catching at times, or he thinks like a DB is gonna be dropping down and hitting him. Most of the drops are like over the middle with some traffic, or where he thinks there's gonna be traffic. So he might hear footsteps a little bit, which again is a legitimate weakness. It's just I'm not moving off of him because of it. So this play, obviously drop, right? We'll talk about some of the drops, quick in breaker. And we could see he goes to catch the ball with his body a little bit there. Like, it's hard to see from this. You have to have like a bigger screen. If you're on a phone, it's gonna be hard, but like his one hand is here and the other hand is there. So so he's kind of body catching it, not the best in terms of the catch technique. Ball bounces off of his chest. It's a drop. Like, again, undoubtedly a weakness for him. It's just I'm not moving him down to the second round because of anything like that. This one, he wins, but he drops the ball. So bottom win slant, I think I put like hop, skip, whatever it is. Heavy inside leverage DB. He beats him on a slant right here, but he drops the ball, unfortunately. So this is where you can see, okay, some of the really good route running for him, but we got to catch the ball. Doesn't look it in right there. Is quick off the ball, right? Accelerates, gets in the DB's face, uses some good footwork. He kind of, I think he hop steps. No, skip steps. So right, half stride left, right, stab to the outside. You can see the DB as he stabs to the outside. He kind of starts to open up to the outside, defeat the inside arm. Club arm over, swim, whatever you want to call it, roast them on the slant, but we got to catch the ball, right? Ball pops out, no reception for Concepcion. Last play, and then we can get into a smackdown. Jake Asman battle. I'm excited. I'm going to sit back and throw my hands up after this. Top slot lacks strength. So this is where you can see him just lacking some strength, like not being able to get off of like some good press coverage and things like that. To the top right here versus DB with slight inside leverage on him. And or actually, they actually switch a little bit there, but you could see the lack of strength there just a little bit. This DB ends up in coverage on him, right? He gets kind of even off the line of scrimmage, tries to release to the inside, pushes vertical, and he's going to try to push back into the DB outside and then break to the inside, but he just doesn't have like the play strength consistently enough to do that type of thing. So good releases, but you're talking about him like trying to body guys and break. It's just not going to work very, very well. So you can just see a little bit of a lack of strength there and the drops, and really past that. And again, I know it's drops and people will maybe even overanalyze that stuff, but he's just so well-rounded that I like him quite a bit. So he is my receiver 3 for those reasons.
It's a good breakdown. A very good breakdown. I like him more than I thought I would. I do wonder though, like the drops is kind of a big deal when you're a front office and coaching staff that took Arian Smith last year in the 4th round, and the biggest knock on him was the drops, and then he was terrible in year 1. Like, can the Jets afford? They're obviously different players. KC's way better, but can the Jets afford to draft another receiver relatively high in this draft that has drops as the big bugaboo? You know?
Yeah, no, I get it. I would be more concerned if the drops were consistent year to year. Again, his first year he had 5, and his second year he had 7. So yeah,
how many snaps was he playing though? Compared,
Trent, you'd have to look that up. I don't have like PFF and all that stuff. So maybe he played less reps. Now I would be more concerned if it was followed by like a 4 for 15 contested catch rate. The contested catch rate being 66% eases my concerns a little bit, but undoubtedly it's a concern. Like, it is a weakness, but there is no receiver in this class without a weakness, right? Like Tate, we could talk about the lack of size and getting off of press. Lemon, we could talk about the lack of like true deep speed, and is he just the slot player? Does he fit with Garrett Wilson, which I think is a little bit overrated? Tyson's the injuries. Cooper, again, I kind of talked about him a little bit. Like, I thought a lot of his stuff was kind of easy in terms of like route wins and things like that. So yeah, I'm worried about the drops, but it's not like Arian Smith's was like, it was like 20% drop rate, right? It was like something crazy with Arian Smith. So he has a slightly more than average drop rate, Concepcion, but it's not drastic, right? Like, again, Zay Flowers, 1st round pick, higher drop rate. Jordan Addison, 1st round pick, higher drop rate than Concepcion. So yeah, I can live with an extra drop or 2 or 3 over a season if he's going to give me the releases again. And I even show the stuff with Yak. He's very good with Yak, and he punt returns as well if you want him to be a punt returner. So he's versatile. He's a guy who, you probably want him as a Z or a slot. You don't want him as an X, but he can win legitimately everywhere. So again, I like him a lot more than most people do. And the drops are concerning. It's just not moving me off of him.
A couple comments from people who are down on him, and then poll voting will open. Yep. Envelet says Concepcion lines up in the same spots as Garrett Wilson, useless.
Yeah, I think this stuff is overrated. Like, to me, just get a guy, and if anything, you're talking about Cooper lined up like 80% in the slot. Concepcion, I don't have to see the numbers like PFF exactly how much he lined up, in different spots, but even if he did line up in the slot, I think I've seen him play at Z quite a bit. So he could play Z and Garrett Wilson can play slot, or vice versa. And I don't look at him and say, okay, he can't win vertically, because he can win short, he can win intermediate. So I don't think you have to lock him down into one spot. And again, with how the NFL is played nowadays, with like all the with all the condensed formations and all the motions and stuff, like, it's not stagnant anyway. So these guys are going to be moving around a ton. So if you're saying that about Concepcion. You need to say the same thing about Cooper. You need to say the same thing about Lemon. So do we only want like big guys for fade balls, which is like a 40% hit rate in the NFL? Like everybody thinks like, oh, big guy for the red zone. Get open. We're not throwing like fade ball. I think the fade ball is the most incomplete route the most incompleted route in football. So we don't need like Denzel Boston. Just get me a guy who gets open and get me a guy who can get open and catch the ball. Obviously catching the ball is a little bit of a trouble for Concepcion, but I don't buy that.
Another negative here from Leon. Casey can't handle press man, is soft over the middle, is dangerous in the open field, and is a heck of a returner, but he's definitely not an alpha.
Yeah, like I said, he has the best press releases in the class, so I would challenge you on that. He has the most variety in his press releases. He's really quick, but to say he can't handle press, I just showed you him getting off of press. Probably, I don't have all day here, but what did I just show? 3 or 4 reps of him getting off of press, so I'm not buying that. Softer than the middle. I don't think it's, I think it trickles into his mind when guys are going to hit him, but we also see him contested catch where he takes huge shots. So I don't think he's soft. I just think he's aware of it, which I don't know if that makes sense to you or the chat, but like being aware of it and being soft are different because he's willing to take the shots. I just think he thinks about it a little bit too much, but yeah, open field, heck of a returner, but like not an alpha. I don't know if you're getting an alpha at 16 regardless. So you're talking about him versus Cooper versus whoever else. They're all going to have their flaws, right? But yeah, can't get off of press. I'm calling BS on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, one final comment before poll voting. Hawk writes in, this kind of depth at wide receiver and the small gap between guys like Concepcion in the top 3 is why it doesn't make sense to reach for a receiver in the first round. We can use 2 and 16 and get 2 premier defensive players. So Hawk is against moving up or taking a receiver in the first round altogether. You studied all these players, Joe. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I would still move up for Tate. But if you're telling me like, because Cooper seems to be like that new favorite for the 3rd or the 4th receiver, if you're telling me like Cooper or Tyson at 16 or Concepcion at 33, I'm taking Concepcion 100 times out of 100 there. I think he's on that tier of player. It's just the drops are an easy thing to evaluate, and it's automatically going to move people off of him. But I think he's very good. So I'd be okay with him at 33, but I don't think he's gonna be there at 33. I think the Bills at like 25, 26, and then the Niners at like 26, 27, wherever they're at, is probably a pretty good spot for Concepcion. And Concepcion with Kyle Shanahan's offense could be dangerous because of the ways he can win and the yak and things like that. So I don't think he makes it. I don't think Lemon makes it at the end of the day. I'm terrified of Tyson. So to me, if you can take 44 and move up, I would do it. Again, I know people get attached to these picks and all these guys are going to be superstars, but it's not how the draft works. What's the second round hit rate at the NFL level? Even if you're Ozzie Newsome, it's probably less than like 40%, right?
Now combine the Jets hit rate on day 2 receivers.
Yeah, and like obviously it's depending on what's a hit, right? Role player, special teamer, starter, super. Like it all depends on what your hit is. But second round, you're talking about more than half the players just completely bust out. So yeah, I get it. Like we're all attached to these names and stuff on the mock draft simulators. But if you can land me my 2 top players in the draft and Reese and Tate, I'm doing it all day. 44, I'm not hesitating at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give you what you've been waiting for. ASMANIAC Madness between Dave Briga, the 4 seed, and the number 1 seed in the extraordinary region, Gary 3D Boxing. A showdown that has been highly anticipated. Gary 3D Boxing, one punch Dave Briga for a spot in the Elite 8 inside the extraordinary region. The winner of this matchup will take on the winner of tomorrow afternoon's Black Gypsy and Mr. Bonesy showdown. So here's your look at the extraordinary region. Here's your look at the matchup. By now, everyone knows these two. Everyone knows what's at stake. Everyone knows what's on the line. And before I open up poll voting, I did see this comment here from fellow number 1 seed, Charles Gorman. He wrote that neither Gary or Briga will be getting a vote from him. They're both blowhard to me, end quote. Charles Gorman is opting to abstain from voting, but everyone else needs to vote. You should only vote once, but we know how that goes around here. So, ladies and gentlemen, open up poll voting. Joe, do you have any final thoughts before we let the people decide who's moving on?
Charles with some beef with Briga. I'm pretty sure the drop you use of "fuck you, Dave Briga" was when I was on the show. So he's got some beef with Gary, got some beef with Briga, and I know these guys have been butting heads a little bit. So I am legitimately excited to again just throw my hands up and just watch the battle take place.
Unbelievable. Frank P writes in, Jake, can we all see the new video on Gary knowing about the burners before the Amanda battle? Well, I did get an email from Beast, and I saw that he wrote, Jake, I sent you a video, Gary cheating. So I will look through this, but right now it is time to vote because there's a lot on the line. So ladies and gentlemen, voting for ASMANIAC Madness is officially underway.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? ASMANIAC Madness. You get to pick the ones that make the show rock.
Vote, vote, vote. Your vote determines who's advancing to the regional final. So this was the email, Joe, that I just saw that Beast did send me here. It's a link. I have to download. I just clicked it. Look at this. And it's tough to see on the screen.
At your own risk. At your own risk.
Yeah. Beast has sent me some weird things. I clicked it. It's downloading. I'll pull it up. But yeah. Vote, vote.
I love how in the sentence you put up on the screen, the I was uncapitalized, but the A was capitalized. Not in that one, the last one prior. So Beast is always great.
Let's see. Super chat from Sean Bennett who writes in, Joe put more hours into film than I do drinking.
Yeah, game film. Yeah, no, it's quite a bit. I would say I probably do a good 10 to 20 hours a week of website film stuff. So yeah, it's quite a bit. I'm excited to just see who gets drafted. We can talk about those guys instead of prognosticating and arguing. And if you like this guy, you should die. And if you like that guy, you should die, which I got kicked off of Twitter last week for a couple of days because of that. I sent you that, Jake, but I made a suicide joke to Jeremy from Jets Talk and all the other stuff he does. And I got banned off of Twitter for a couple of hours. So yeah, I need it more than anybody right now.
That's crazy. Super chat from Tyrone, who's in the raffle for 2. Thank you, Tyrone. A week away from the draft. The sad part is we've been waiting since October, and maybe we have to wait another year. By then, I'll be retired and moving to Florida, back to the East Coast. But we have the Knicks. Let's go Knicks, Tyrone. Playoff run starts Saturday night at the Garden. And yeah, look, I mean, let's hope that the Jets crush this draft, and then they have 3 more first-round picks in 2027. We're finally on the trajectory to having a real team, because if the Buffalo Sabres can make the playoffs in hockey and end the longest playoff drought in sports, you know, so can the Jets, and now have that distinction all by themselves.
Yeah, I think the Nets open up in about 2 weeks in the playoffs. So I'm very excited to watch the Nets in the playoffs as well. You know,
when's the lottery?
Oh my God, I think it's very early May. Of course, they won a couple of games at the end. They could have been the number 2 spot, but I know with my luck with being a basketball fan, they're the 3rd odds, and they'll be picking like 7th. I'm sure that'll happen. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the lottery and the draft with all my teams. It's so much fun.
Yeah, this is something. This really is something. Ladies and gentlemen, it's tight in ASMANIAC Madness. This is going to be one of those you could just tell. It will be a remember where you were. 52-48, the underdog, Dave Briga. With an early lead, we're giving the people what they want. These two guys know a thing or two about yelling and screaming at each other.
You said people walked on the moon, correct?
Yes.
Prove your claim.
It's not my claim, it's history's claim. You're an ignorant person. I was there. I know it went up.
You were on the moon?
You just don't believe it.
Give me the evidence that people walked on the moon.
You don't make any sense.
All I've asked you for is evidence.
You don't believe in achievement.
This is irrational. You're acting like an irate 5-year-old.
Listen to me, big mouth.
Dave Briga, walk like a man. It's not my claim. It's not my burden.
You said you went to college. They teach you nothing?
Shut up.
Don't tell me to shut up.
This is ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
You can't have a rational conversation. You can't shut your mouth
What's
for 5
rational?
seconds.
You're just a denier.
How does me knowing the name of the 3 people who died on the Apollo prove that people walked on the moon?
That itself doesn't prove it, no.
Prove your claim that people walked on the moon.
Men don't die for no reason at all.
How does men don't die for no reason prove that people walked on the moon? Your evidence is that you were alive when someone claimed to have walked on the moon.
I was living then, yes.
What does that prove?
I believe in achievement. I believe in a space program.
You believe in achievement. Therefore, people walked on the moon. That's your argument?
I believe people didn't lie to us like you.
I believe in achievement. Therefore, people walked on the moon?
Go read the history. Go look at films. I have books.
Then this should be easy for you. Prove that people walked on the moon. You've done all the research. This should be easy. It's not my burden.
Buzz Aldrin, in his mind, had to calculate the exact landing. You believe it was a cover-up?
I don't believe the claim that people walked on the moon. That's it.
I have to prove history, but you don't have to prove anything. Go take some more headshots. You need some.
Ladies and gentlemen, these two guys are battling head to head. 50 up. Did the Gary burner accounts? Did those come through? 53-47 now. Wow. Brigham was up by 4. All of a sudden, a minute and 27 seconds later, it has changed. Do we know what that could mean?
Was that a Gator edit right there? Or was that somebody else?
So Gator made the animations, but that was their actual screaming and yelling at each other.
No, yeah, that's so funny. Like them arguing while on like the moon and stuff is just that's top notch. That is hilarious.
Dave Briga writes in, vote for me will ensure achievement in every way, shape, and form. Dave Briga, standing tall.
Is that going to be Gary's problem? Is he's too polarizing? You know, at a certain point, like half the chat may hate you, so you're going to get the votes against you at a certain point. So do the good guys like Briga and Clifton and all those guys go farther because Gary's a little bit too polarizing?
Yeah, that was my thought. I did have Gary going to the championship in my bracket before the tournament, but everything has just been so polarizing that I don't know. I feel like I thought Dave Briga had a legit chance here.
All those burners, dude.
Yeah, it's just, man. So oh my God, I finally opened Beast's email that he sent to me. I had to make sure that it wasn't a link I can't play. Let me just pull it up here. So I haven't seen this yet. It just says fraud Gary. So here we go. You ready for this, Joe?
I'm more ready than I could be.
I need y'all to make 50 fake accounts. 50.
Whoa, hold on. Where is it? There it is.
I need y'all to make 50 fake accounts, 50 burner accounts. They're not fake. They're real accounts. They're just burner accounts. And then go vote for me from all 50 accounts.
Whoa. The voter fraud, man. There's no rules in this tournament. And Gary is pulling out all the stops. When is that from?
Yeah, how do you thwart that though? Like, how do you thwart? Like I said to you pre-show, it's like I have 2 or 3 accounts because I have like Jet X's and all of that stuff. So, do you have through IP addresses? Like, how does that even work with StreamYard? I'm not sure you could do that.
Clancy says that was yesterday or Sunday. Wow,
stirring the pot.
No rules. I mean, no rules. But again, Gary's saying go make accounts for him.
I need y'all to make 50 fake accounts, 50 burner accounts. They're not fake. They're real accounts. They're just burner accounts. And then go vote for me from all 50 accounts.
This is unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, Gary just treating this like it's NBA All-Star game voting. Just make as many accounts as you can.
It's not a man of achievement right there.
No, I mean, look, Dave Briga, there's your ammunition if I've ever seen one. Major poonage in the raffle for 4. High pitch Gary's going down. A vote for Briga is a vote for freedom in the United States of America. I mean, look, Dave Briga is a man of achievement. There's a reason why we call him One Punch Dave Briga. All right, we'll get to your calls. If Gary or Briga call in, they'll go first. But right now, neither of them are on the line. But first up today is the man who just sent me that email or that video that we just played. Dear God, I don't know how he did it, but here we go.
You sit when you pee. Now go to another caller.
Hey, put on a light.
50 of them. I got a new name for Gary. You chicken shit line bitch made pussy ass clown sucking douchebag. No, you're a fraud. You need to come out and confront yourself now. Do it now, or I'm coming after you. And that flag right there from Germany will come and kick your ass. Mind. I know your tricks, Gary. You're a sleazy little snake. And punks like you need to be taught with one thing. And the one thing you need to be taught. You know what this looks like, Gary? Do you know what this is? The riding crop. And you know what the riding crop looks like, boy? This is going to go on your ass. I'm going to make sure it goes through your ass real fast. And I'll make sure you have a nice, big, red ass. And
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
There was too much ass talk there for an ASMANIAC Madness battle. I don't want anyone's ass to be red. What?
Calm your freaky down.
I am hoping that the Chicago game is earlier on in the year, and you have to go there, right?
Yes, we'll do a live show from the Beast Attic.
Will he allow it though? Will he actually allow you in the attic though? That's my question. I don't know if he would.
Mike Dems super chats. He's in the raffle for 2. Again, Keyshawn Johnson signed helmet. He goes championship mentality right there. Gary MVP. So that video that Beast submitted, Mike Dems actually loves it. He's like, I love the fact that Gary wants to win so badly. I'm voting for him.
Yeah, on the other side of the aisle, like if it's not defined in the rule book that you can't do that, then is it cheating? Like if you're not cheating, you're not trying. But if it's not in the rule book, people have multiple accounts. It's an ASMANIAC tournament in March and April, so maybe you shouldn't try so hard. But nonetheless, you can appreciate the effort at the minimum.
Technically not illegal, but in the spirit of the competition, frowned upon. That's how I would describe it. But again, I mean, there's no rule, so it's like there's no one on the committee that could retroactively enforce a policy. We're just going to have to come up with a new way to vote for next year.
Yeah. Is there, I guess there's not a way to do that on StreamYard, right? You're gonna have to like use some like off-site type of voting, which wouldn't make it as fun probably. Right. So yeah, maybe you have to figure it out for next year, but nothing in the rule says you can't vote multiple times. And I'm sure people have voted for other people multiple times as well. Now, is it 50 burner accounts? I don't know, but I'm sure there's been some voter fraud elsewhere.
This super chat is from Nick Shine. Am I the only one surprised that Beast saw that, downloaded that, wrote an email, attached the file, and sent it correctly? I thought he sent me porn, so yes. I mean, when I see just a link in Beast grammar, yes.
Let's say, didn't you get on trouble with Twitter with that? You clicked on the link, somebody helped me, and then you got banned for 2 weeks. So maybe you got to be a little bit more careful.
Vote for me for this podcast award. Yeah, a whole thing, crazy. Mike D's Nuts says, you think Briga voters don't have burners? Mike D's Nuts asking the chat that. Big Fella says, Detective Beast, what a story. Oh, man. Detective Beast on the case.
Yeah.
More of your calls.
I'm assuming Gary knew that was coming. Like, I'm assuming he knew that you guys were going to catch that, right?
I'm not sure. Probably. Nick Sean, Jake downloading that file blindly is wild. I mean, I took a chance. Let's get to more of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. On the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline is...
I'm Black Jets, and I'm gonna set all you delusional Jets fans straight. Your takes make me wanna punch you in the face or kick you in the crotch. When this team sucks, they suck. I'm Black Jets, I'm Black Jets, I'm Black Jets, I'm Black Jets.
Good evening, ASMANIACs. Jeff Blewett.
What's going on, dude?
Mr. Asman. So, I don't understand. I don't understand. What am I missing? It's like somebody shot somebody in front of you, right? And there's no rules. We haven't created rules for it yet. Just let him do it. A boxing promoter is being a scumbag. What a surprise. What a surprise. Like, every time... Hey, what I love about Gary, I must say this, he is entertaining. He sets the bar a higher level every time with the nonsense. Like, he doesn't just stop and just keep it at like a base. Like, no, I'm going to one-up myself from the last time before. What did I say last time? How can I double down on something else to make it worse? Like, it's good times. If he gets past Briga, like, there's 300 people in the chat, right? So there should only be 300 votes around that area.
Again,
so,
people could join the show just to vote and lead, though. No,
yeah, I've been watching. So while it was tied, we're at 318, I think, the max. So within that time, those are the votes that we got. So I want to see how many votes are actually casted at the end. So at the end of it, Jay, can you tell us how many votes were casted for each person, so we can actually have the numbers?
YouTube doesn't provide that. It will just give me the total votes and the percentage.
Okay. Also, it doesn't give you a separate vote of who got how many people versus the other person?
No, but I think what people don't understand is when I'm live over the course for, let's say, 2 hours on average, people come in and out. They vote and then leave. Like most people don't sit and watch all 2 hours in one sitting. Now, some do, and I'm appreciative for those people, but my average listener tunes in for about 23 or 24 minutes per video of mine, according to YouTube's analytics. So people come out of their way to vote. We've had people that super chat, hey, I'm just here to vote. I'll watch the rest later. That was a common thing a year ago in the tournament.
Yeah, I don't have no Jets points. Like, go Briga.
How many accounts did you vote for Dave Briga with?
I'm on an honor system. I have one account. That's the one account that I use. It was March Madness, so every team gets to play one game too. Like, that's what I thought. And stupid me, naive me, I thought we were all going to be honest, but apparently we're not going to be honest. We're just going to have 50 burner accounts and ask for 50 burner accounts. Yeah.
Would you say it's a little extreme, though, to compare Gary telling people to make multiple accounts to vote for him to a shooting?
Yeah, definitely. But still, I'm using Gary analogies. I'm using Gary analogies, bro. I thought it made sense. Gary makes off the wall analogies, so I thought I'd do the same. Trying to learn from the master.
Ladies and gentlemen, Black Gypsy.
I need y'all to make 50 fake accounts, 50 burner accounts. They're not fake; they're real accounts. They're just burner accounts, and then go vote for me from all 50 accounts.
What a show. I love this.
Yeah, I can say if somebody got shot in front of me, I wouldn't just be like, no rules. Like, unfortunately, I have to do my job there, which would suck. But here we are.
Right now, there's 300 concurrent viewers watching live, and there have been 370 votes. 51-49, Dave Briga leading slightly over Gary 3D Boston. Vote. Your vote determines who advances to the next round. Ted Ruggiero is in the Keyshawn Johnson helmet raffle for 4.
Good job.
So do we already know 3D Gary's going to win the tournament because he will create as many burner accounts as possible required to win? That's not a legit competition. It's a Russian election.
ASMANIAC Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Ted, I appreciate the contribution. I don't think that it's possible for Gary to make that many accounts, but again, there's no rules. So maybe people are making accounts on the other side too.
Kind of depends on how much time he has on his hands, right? Like, you could probably make a YouTube account per minute. So if you did that for a few hours, like, is he getting? Do you have normal votes where it's like 400 a show, and then when Gary's here, it's 500 a show? So like, where are those extra 100 accounts coming from? Like, we have to dive into the numbers a little bit here, the analytics.
Well, Boomtown has all the analytics, so you can go through some of that for us. Major Punage checks it out. A single person voting for multiple accounts is expressly against YouTube's fake engagement policy. Gary is indeed a cheater. Ladies and gentlemen, Major Punage has weighed in. All right, more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Rich Mansbun. Hello, Rich's Manbun.
Hey, it's supposed to say, oh yeah, it says it. Hey, Jake, how's it going, man? Hey,
where
Joe.
you been, Manbun?
I am in my final rotation in PT school, and it's been a lot of work, and I haven't been as in the Jets loop as I normally am. I work pretty long hours, but life has been good. But I finish next week, the day after the first round of the draft. So I'm excited for 2 things. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So Jake, where do you stand on what wide receiver 1 you would like? I'm curious before I get into my spiel about receivers.
I am a Carnell Tate fan. I think that he would be my number 1 choice. I don't think he'll be there at 16, so they would have to trade up for him. I also like Mekhi Lemon, and I like Tyson, but his injuries scare me, so I am very worried if the Jets take him.
Me too. And Joe, where do you stand on your receivers?
Yeah, I'm the same as Jake. Tate 1 pretty comfortably, Lemon 2. And because of the injuries with Tyson, he's actually my receiver 5, and then I have Concepcion and Cooper as 3 and 4.
Nice, I love it. Yeah, so I think Tyson looks awesome, but with the injury history, I wouldn't touch him. If I was any other team in the league except for the Giants, I think he could be a good fit. But on our turf, the worst field in the NFL, I would not touch him. He scares the hell out of me. And yeah, I mean that's my big point of the day. Jake, I'm with you. I would like Arvell Reese over David Bailey. If we draft Bailey, I'll be excited too. But it would just be terrible to see Arvell Reese become a great player. And us not to have him. So I'm looking forward to the draft. And I wouldn't touch, I would not touch the quarterback. Holy moly, I'm blanking on his name. Yeah, I wouldn't touch Simpson in the first round. If he's available in round 2, I'm fine with it. But let's play the cards for next draft. I really hope that Aaron Glenn doesn't get to make the decision to draft the quarterback early because of job security. So yeah, that's my 2 cents, guys. Thanks for having me.
Rich, appreciate it. Welcome back. Good luck with the rest of your, what do you say, rotation?
Yeah, he's PT, so you're a physical therapist, right? He's on his last rotation. Yeah, good luck. I know rotations suck.
Let's see. Chris B says, just finished eating a Subway sandwich. I'm stuffed and full. Go Jets.
Sweet. I don't know the last time I had Subway was. It must have been 20 plus
fresh.
Years ago. I don't know how fresh it is, to be honest. It's I don't know. I don't know about that.
Remember when the Subway $5 footlong was $5 for about a week? It hasn't been $5 since.
Yeah, I think Subway is the worst of the worst in terms of the fast food chains you can go to be honest. But hey, Crispy, you do you.
Make sure you vote in ASMANIAC Madness. Earlier, Detective Beast called in to uncover a video that he sent us. And this was Beast on the scene. Private investigator, Beast Breaker, determining what is happening with Gary 3D Boxing ahead of this crucial battle against One Punch Dave Briga.
No, you're wrong. Wow, what the? Oof, that hurt. Where am I? The moon? Seriously?
My ass. He's a lying chicken shit. He deserves to be destroyed. My PC just went down. I am not in a good mood right now. Gary, I'm going to warn you right now, you slime ball. You really, really slipped into shit, and you're not getting out of this one, pal. Believe me, at the end of the day, sitting right next to me, welcome to the riding crop. I hope you're ready to go behind that woodshed because, like Jim Ross once said, you want to take? I'm going to take you with me. You know where we're going. I'm going to take you to the woodshed, and I'm gonna belt that ass bad. And I'm going to
your claim that people walked on the moon.
Men don't die for no reason at all.
How does men don't die for no reason prove that people walked on the moon? Your evidence is that you were alive when someone claimed to have walked on the moon.
I was living then, yes.
What does that prove?
I believe in achievement. I believe in a space program.
You believe in achievement. Therefore, people walked on the moon. That's your argument?
I believe people didn't lie to us like you.
I believe in achievement. Therefore, people walked on the moon.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just noticed poll voting. We have a new leader. Gary is retaking the lead. 51-49, 423 votes have been cast. More of your calls on the matter. Ladies and gentlemen, Stefan will weigh in. Stefan, do you even know who these characters are as you weigh in here?
Honestly, not too much. I've been learning as I watch your show, and it's definitely an interesting battle.
Who'd you vote for?
I'd say I voted for Briga. You know, there's some allegations, some takes I just can't agree with Gary on. And I was liking what Briga had to say, so I went with him.
Stefan, well said. More of your calls right now on the matter. Philly Noodles is next. Philly, what do you got for us?
Oh, scam from yesterday's show. Briga's belief in achievement, like if only Aaron Glenn realized the achievement that he could accomplish if they just, no matter what, I guess, stick with Reese at 2, only because you get such a high value, and if something goes wrong, like think about Kayvon Thibodeau, like he was supposed to be pretty good and maybe elite, and he's probably not worth a 4th round pick, right? So I feel like if Reese at 20, even if he doesn't pan out, which is a stretch to even maybe imagine it could happen, I think your resale value is high, right? Like, so Blewett, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I am so done with like Reese and Bailey. It's been crazy. To me, like the thing that's weird over the last week is that the Jets are going to, they want the thing, right? Like they want the floor of Bailey, or he's going to be the more pro-ready guy right now, whatever it is. And yeah, maybe as a pass rusher he is, but like as a well-rounded overall player, I think Reese in year 1 is going to be just as good as Bailey for the overall impact. And then eventually, you know, year 2, year 3, he'll really build up that that pass rush arsenal. That's why I sent you that video over the week. I'm not sure if you've even seen it before that, but it's like the dude is going, he's pass rushing based on instincts. Like he's never been coached it. He looks crappy in some drills that were different drills than Baines. A week after he gets coached, and now look how much better he looks. So like, yeah, it's just what he did with no coaching there is so impressive. Again, if Reese came out there last year and had a 10% pressure rate, 3 hits and 1 sack, I would be questioning it much more. Or if he was 23 years old, I'd be questioning it much more. But how productive he was in limited snaps without actually being taught it is the reason I'm taking him. And I don't buy into the Bailey is a safer player right now. Yeah, maybe as a pass rusher, but I think his floor is lower than Reese's because if he doesn't work out, he's going to be a designated pass rusher who gets you 5, 6, 7 sacks a year potentially. Where Reese, if he doesn't reach his ceiling and he hits his floor, you're talking about a really good run defender and a guy just because of like his power is going to get you 3, 4, 5 sacks a year. So give me that player over the DPR type player.
The Bat Fellow with the super chat. I smell the stench of criminality. Get Styles. If they took Sonny Styles at 2, what's your reaction?
I like Styles, man. It's just the positional value, right? Like, do you have the numbers? What number would he be in terms of like how high he's paid for linebackers, right? Like he'd be a top 5 paid inside linebacker or top 10 right off the jump. So you're talking about him needing to be an all-pro player right off the jump, and you're not taking advantage of that contract, right? Where if you draft a receiver, a tackle at the end, you're making, or you're doing good in terms of financially because those guys are paid so much more money. So you need to be like a top 5 linebacker right off the jump. So I'm not taking him. He's like top 5 on my board, but you can't take him at 2 in my opinion, even though I think he'll be great.
I agree with you. If they could trade down and take him, man, that'd be awesome. Ref Fan writes in, catfishing isn't illegal either, but it's wrong. Danger Zone with a super chat. Will there be an asterisk if Gary hoists? I'll tell you what, there's no rules right now, but crazy things are happening in ASMANIAC Madness. We're going to get to more of your calls shortly, but a bunch of you are on the line. I want to just remind everyone we got a great giveaway. Keyshawn Johnson signed helmet. We've only had 1 gifted membership during the show so far, and this has been a wild show, so I want to put someone else in the ASMANIAC raffle. I'm going to give one right now. If you want to be eligible, make sure you're subscribed to my channel and you like the video so the YouTube algorithm will reward you. 1 lucky listener about to be entered in the Keyshawn Johnson signed helmet at the end of the show that I'm going to raffle away. And that listener is the lucky gremlin. He is in for 1.
Gary is a cheater and he's a disgrace to this country. I think somebody should throw him in Iran and let him be the yeah, that's right.
All right, in for 1 is the lucky gremlin. Lou B wants to know, Joe, who's better, Love or Bailey?
Love. Now for the Jets, I would take Bailey over Love, but overall I have Love higher than Bailey. Like just a neutral team who needs everything, I would take Love before Bailey. Indy
Jets says, can I mail in my vote? We're going to have a new voting process, that's for sure.
Good job.
Yeah. I need to see a head-to-head. I need to see Briga and Gary argue about the moon, argue about female voting. I want to see a clash here, but there's been no clash to be had.
Yeah, neither of them have called in. It's part of their strategy, I suppose. Danger Zone has gifted 1 channel membership. Dane, you are in the raffle for 1.
You sit when you pee. Now go to another caller.
I did receive this nugget from someone who's been monitoring all the voting. Voting spiked by 50 or more within a matter of minutes. Went from like 360 votes to 450-ish in a blink. I mean, I don't know what that can mean, but I do know right now it's as tight as it's ever been. It's 51-49 with 456 votes that have been cast. If the Gary burners have already shot off all their votes, is there enough left over to will Gary to victory, or will the people supporting Dave Briga come out in droves, Joe, and carry Briga to a victory in the Sweet 16?
What are we at? 50? Is it 52-48? Is that
51-49? Gary leading Dave Briga, 459 votes.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be comfortable enough to just sit back and let this happen. I think we need some call-ins. I see Briga in the chat pretty consistently. I don't know if Gary's handle or whatever, but. I need to see something here. I need to see some fireworks. But yeah, it's gonna be because after this winner plays who? Who was next?
The winner will play either Black Gypsy or Mr. Bonesy. That will be determined tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's getting spicy now because I know there's some beef there as well with Gypsy clearly doesn't like Gary based on his last call.
Super chat from Charles Gorman. Hello, Jake Asman and Joe Blewett. I hope you gentlemen are doing well on this fine day.
Fuck you, Dave Briga.
Whoa! Ooh. Charles, thank you very much. Super chat from Austin Jets, who's in the raffle now for
Good
two.
job.
If women vote for Gary, should those be disqualified since he doesn't believe in women voting?
Yeah, I would like to hear the full story of why that. Like, I haven't been super privy to it. I'm aware of it, but I could tell you my wife is smarter than I am. So if like I said pre-show, like if there's one person to vote in this household, it's probably my wife is a smarter person.
What's funny is he just offered that up as like his take. Like I don't even know when this video is from, but let me find it in the arc. I played it this morning when we were playing the best of Dave and Gary. Here's the genesis of when he said it. Laundry? Nah, I got a wife for that. Only women can do laundry, Gary? You can't do your own laundry?
I could. I choose not to.
Thank you for the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, I don't think women should vote at all. I think that's just being silly. I think in your heart of hearts, you think that's silly too. It's just sad.
No, in my heart of hearts, I think that women have every right to vote, Gary.
Who should I vote for tomorrow in the election?
I think that's utterly ridiculous. It took men 5,000 years to create this society. It took women 2 generations to destroy it. I don't know what the problem is, but I know that it was caused by feminism. Feminism is a work for evil that needs to be eradicated. I think it's the cause of most of the problems in the world, most of them.
Really?
If you ask my wife, she would agree with you too. I mean, I wouldn't marry someone.
Your wife thinks that she shouldn't be allowed to vote?
She thinks women should not be allowed to vote, correct, yes.
Make me some meat and that we're good.
Yeah, but why are you more qualified to vote than your wife?
Because men are more logical. Men live a harder life. Every single company in the world that advertises towards women. Do you know why? It's easy to manipulate women. That's why they advertise towards women. I'm just giving you facts. You may not like those facts, but those are all facts. Women make the purchases, women carry the debt, and they're easier to manipulate.
Gary, you want to know the reasons why females shop more? They take care of our families.
I'm a man. I have principles. In my principle, I don't think women should vote. Criminals should vote. I don't think unemployed men should vote. I don't think people who live off the government should vote. I don't think low IQ people should vote. I don't think most people should vote. I think the voting class should be like a very small percentage of the people.
So basically, the people that are the elitists would be the people that you want to vote, not the actual culture of people.
A taxpayer, someone who's not in prison.
In essence, you're saying that a woman has no value if she can't vote, because that means she can't vote for her own personal interests.
No,
if she's not in the family.
I think that the power to vote is the power to divide. So now you can divide families, which is exactly what they want. You can call it crazy if you want. If we eliminated premarital sex tomorrow, if no one ever had premarital sex again, most of the world's problems would disappear overnight.
Women need to vacuum and shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Joe, you heard it there. You're a married man. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I see in the chat, like, Joe, let's not emasculate ourselves. It's like I'm not saying, like, I'm just saying my wife's smarter than I am. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I like the divide the household thing. I don't know, like, if that's so important to you. I feel like if you're, let's say you're a staunch righty and your wife's a staunch lefty, it's probably not going to work out anyway because your philosophies on life are going to be a lot different. So I am pretty in line with my wife politically. So we're going to vote for the same thing pretty much. But like, I don't think people from opposite spectrums necessarily are always linking up anyway, especially with how like crazy things are nowadays. I could tell you again, she's more plugged than I am. She should vote. I'm telling you right now, because she's smart, So is he like automatically smarter than every woman who's ever walked the earth? Then like automatically, like right off the jump, because no woman should be able to vote? Or should there be like, hey, jobless, jail, like that stuff I understand, but you can't automatically assume you're smarter and more knowledgeable and logical than every woman in the world. It's just not unequivocally not true.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line, ladies and gentlemen. A mimosa bomb.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
Mimosa writes in, Jake put me in the raffle. I'm on the road, so I can't give memberships. Vote Briga. He has never made me feel bad for being a single woman with a career who depends on no one but myself. Thanks, Dave Briga. You are a class act. Strong endorsement there for Dave Briga from the great Mimosa. Couple super chats that we will hit. Amanda Madison writes in, a vote for Dave Briga is a vote for women's voting rights, justice, integrity, moon landings, all of it. I believe in one punch Briga of it all. Amanda weighing in.
Yeah. Yeah,
Strong.
no, that is strong. I'm going to assume that Briga is starting to take the lead a little bit now. Are we
now 51-49, Gary holding strong.
Wow.
The Rooster checks in. I voted for Briga and the space program. Gary might be a Russian spy. Whoa. Rooster, thank you very much for your support. This one from Darth Crypto. Gary is that dude that always swears he's smarter than anyone, and he's just not. Darth, we appreciate your opinion on the matter.
Yeah, I think walking into any chat room in general, thinking you're either the smartest or the toughest person there is a mistake, because there's always gonna be a person smarter than you, and there's always gonna be a person who can absolutely whoop your ass. So don't be that person.
More of your calls. Are we ready to hear from the man himself? It's Briga time.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him One Punch Briga. The moon landing was free. They call him One Punch Briga. His claim is not too dirty. One Punch Briga. Hated jokes just like his ass. One Punch Briga. Don't you know they need
Jake, it's a tight one. It's a
Very
tight one.
tight, Dave. Very tight.
But
50-50 now, I'm seeing. You just gained some votes.
Hopefully we shall overcome. Okay? Listen, if I wanted to do diabolical things, I certainly could do them. But I don't encourage people to do dishonorable things. So I would hope that if I won, I could hold my head up proud and say, I give the victory to my people who voted for me, honestly. And you know what? Just let some of those guys come after me, okay? I encourage it if you want to come after me for saying the truth, okay? I encourage it. Just like I encourage intruders when they come after me, okay? Listen, let us be honorable people, okay? I don't care. This is all in fun. But, sometimes it just goes over edge. I encourage, and that's all I can say, It's all in fun, yes. But, people see these things and they take them too seriously. The way people talk about dishonesty. So it's in fun, but, don't take this into the real world, okay? This is all joking around. And hopefully I can get it. I can make a way through these multiple votes. Now, if they voted for a couple of people, voted for multiple for me, they're just, neutralizing not even neutralizing what's happening. So, I try to do things properly, and I don't want to be diabolical in my approach to life or anything. And I know that people can look at me in the face and know what you see is what you get. And you know what? The thing that bothers me most is Charles Gorman didn't have the you-know-whats to even vote. And I will make it a point to make sure he doesn't win this tournament because he didn't show he's a big you-know-what man. You know what? He's weak. He's a weak guy. He could have voted. Hey, I didn't care if he voted for me or Gary, but he didn't have the courage to even do anything, just like he regularly does. Terrible. Terrible.
Are you endorsing
listen, I hope Big Show kicks his you-know-what, you lazy bum. Couldn't even make a decision. Can you imagine that? Could not make a decision. But anyway, listen, whoever's out there, I have to speak. And Neil, don't be mad at me because my dad never encouraged using the word Goomba. That's all I can tell you. He'd snap out. Okay? We're real Italians, calabrese. We don't need to use that slang terminology. Okay? Jake, I just hope I can get some votes from the people to remain out there. Hopefully I can pull through. If not, hey, what do they do? There's no rules, so we have to deal with what's going on. And, I'm just, as far as football point, I want to sneak one in there. So let's pray we can get a trade partner for number 2. I can't take it no more. I'm not convinced on any of these guys. So just pray Muji could do his magic. I want some magic. Get out of that number 2 slot. Get us some more picks and offense. I want to see offense. Okay,
Amen,
that's my opinion on the football. So just take it there, guys. I'll call back if I have to make a concession speak or whatever. So Okay, Charles Gorman, you're a very disappointing man. Take care.
He thinks that Charles and Bobby need to get a job. This cowboy hates to see Asmaniacs complain. What he call him, one punch Briga. You need to get a job. What he call him, one punch Briga. The beast is on his ass. Call him one punch Briga. Has anyone seen Bean Mac? Call him one punch Briga. He'll only need one.
What a show. What a show. One for the history books. Luppy gifting 5 memberships in the raffle for 5.
We are mama way.
Johnny Dank says, I voted for you, Briga. Jay wrote in, vote for pizzeria, pizza, vegetables, and space exploration. Vote Briga. Man, back and forth we go. 50-50 is the score. 512 votes have been cast. Oh, my goodness gracious.
ASMANIAC Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Vote, vote, vote. Your vote determines who advances to the next round. Let's get to more of your calls here. Try and get to as many as we can. Then we'll say goodbye to Joe. Derek, let it rip. Who you got?
Hey, Jake. Hey, Joe. How are we doing, brothers?
What's going on?
I was watching the Pat McAfee show a little bit after work today, and Peter Schrager said that the Jets are still leaning pretty hard towards Bailey, which kind of bummed me out because I'm kind of a Reese guy, even though I won't complain about either of them. Joe, I also wanted to thank you on the great work you did with Cooper and KC Concepcion. I had not really watched any film on KC, but he looks like he can be an absolute stud if he can maybe fix that drop problem. Another thing Peter said on the Pat McAfee show is he said there could be maybe a potential run on safeties and Neil Warren or maybe like Downs and maybe 2 or 3 could go in the first round. So I was kind of curious. I Googled 3 safeties have never went in the first round of the draft, so I found that intriguing. And then Pat McAfee was talking about how when he did his NFL draft party last year, he was talking to Mike McCarthy, and he said could be a potential run on NFL offensive linemen, regardless of how talented they were. So he was thinking maybe that there could be maybe a run of 5 to 7 offensive linemen going on in the first round. I was wondering, I was curious on the odds of you guys thinking if that could potentially happen or not.
Yeah, 5 to 7. So you got Lemieux, you have Fano, you have Proctor, you have the Maui Noah, you have so that's 4 or 5 right there, right? I'm sure there's another 2 or 3 of them, like Blake Miller. Yeah, I would say Vega. Vega. So that's another one. If I didn't mention him, so you're talking, that's 5 to 7 right there. And again, teams are typically going to lean towards those, the important positions of DN, the tackles, the corners, the receivers, because that's how you make bang for your buck. So I would say 5 to 7 is a pretty safe bet. And obviously 3 safeties going great. Like obviously I want Downs to fall, but if you can guarantee me that Thiemann and McNeil Warren go before 16, awesome. But I was going to say before I want all the chaos, I want Charles to now defend his honor. I want Gary to call in. I'm seeing stuff in here that people hate Briga because of religious stuff. I'm seeing stuff in here that Gary saved their marriage. So this is extremely polarizing. I'm curious to see how Gary saves somebody's marriage on a YouTube chat, but nothing surprises me anymore on the show.
Well, Joe, before you go, I got quite the treat for you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Hey, Charles! You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. Hey, Charles! I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. I need some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles!
I really wasn't planning to call in, but since Dave Briga forced my hand, here I go. The reason why I chose to not vote for either one of them is they both have done me wrong. Dave Briga thinks I'm a bum because I refuse to do anything. Dave Briga acts like he knows me 24/7. Dave Briga acts like he lives with me 24/7. Okay? I just filled out the job application to the Holiday Inn over the weekend, but that's not good enough. I guess I'm still a bum. J-O-B, job. Plus, before I said F you to him on your show a while back, he called me on the Nick Shine show a bum, a fake friend, and a fake fan. So you know what, Dave Briga? I don't really have to prove myself to you or to anybody. If you want to vote for the big show, be my guest, baby. You can bring it all day, all night long. And as for Gary, he can kick rocks too. This is me standing on business. First of all, this isn't a legitimate election. This is just for fun. So I don't have to vote for him or Gary. And if Dave Briga don't like that, he can kiss my quote-unquote lazy ass. Have a good day, everybody.
ASMANIAC Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
That was the most passionate and succinct I have ever seen.
Yeah,
Charles Gorman.
concise,
Wow.
to the point. That was good. I appreciate that call. Took some balls.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Gorman.
Fuck you, Dave Briga.
Whoa! Gorman with a mic drop type of call. Incredible. Let's keep it rolling here. A lot of people got some great passion that are on the line. We say hello to NY Jets, Florida. Ted. Hello, Ted.
What up, Jake? How's it going? Couple things. Is Black Gypsy on the line? I have a question for
Black Gypsy is not on the line.
Okay. Couple Jets points. Great call by Charles, by the way. That's the way you got to be in life, Charles. You got to, sack off the times and just take it. I went back to the Jets point. I went back to first round draft wide receivers and 40 times real quick. 2025, Ted McMillan 448, Ibuka 448, Golden 429, Marvin Harrison in 24 did not run, of course, because he's slow probably. Neighbors 435, Adunze 445, Brian Thomas 433, Xavier Worthy 421, Pearsall 441. I do not want any trade up for a 6 foot 4.58 receiver. I don't care if he's especially if he's not going to be a number one or close to it. I would pass on that. If he happens to fall maybe out of the top 10 and you want to move up a couple spots, but I would not even entertain trying to trade up for that kind of guy. I personally like Brazel if we can get him at 33, quite honestly.
Well, some of those guys you mentioned, though, were good players, though, Ted.
They aren't or are?
They are. You named some good players there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The 40s are under 4.58. You're going to overdraft a wide receiver and trade up for one and when they can't separate. That's my point.
But he does separate, though.
Yeah, but at the NFL level, you're gonna count on that.
It's a route running thing. I get it. Like you want the speed, but what did Amon-Ra St. Brown run? Like a 4.5, right? JSN ran like a 4.5. So I think it's more about route running and setting up and pacing and stuff like that than it is just speed. Because if it was just speed, then Darius Hayward-Bay would work out and John Ross would work out and Arian Smith would work out. So I get wanting the speed, no doubt about it. Like that's part of it. But he wins so consistently vertically because of how good of a route runner he is.
But St. Brown is not a first rounder, and he wasn't a top 10 pick. That's what I'm saying.
You take him right now in the first round.
Yes, but what I'm saying is you don't want to overdraft a guy that in my opinion, he may be good, but like you said, he's not a Chase. He's not at a Chase level. That's my point. You know what I mean? I would rather get like the guy from the second tier guy from Indiana or Brazel or something like that. That's my point about that. That's about all I got. I just wanted to ask Black Gypsy a business question, though. It's not on?
Well, if you want Black Gypsy, we could give you Black Gypsy. Is it a Rumble?
Possibly.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the ASMANIAC Rumble.
What's happening, Black Gypsy?
What's going on?
I got a question for you. So I'm a business person. You're a business person.
Okay.
I looked you up on LinkedIn. So you have a legitimate business, I believe. You're quick to call Gary a scumbag. So I have a question. Have you ever taken a cash job and not claimed it? 'Cause I have. Have you ever taken cash and not deposited and paid taxes on it?
That's not the question. What you're saying is factual. Here's what I'm talking about. When you've been flagged more than once, it's your fault. That was always my argument. It was never that he should pay his taxes. Had he done it correctly and learned how to use the loopholes in the tax law booklet that he talks about, then you would understand what to do. Go get a really good accountant, get a lawyer, get somebody to tell you what to do with your money, how to invest your money, what to do with your taxes. There's tons of things you can do to not pay taxes. Like he doesn't know that, and he's mad at the system. Like you got caught once, you got caught twice, but then the third time you're bitching, that's you. It has nothing to do with the taxpayer.
Do you want to answer my question now?
What?
Have you ever taken cash and not put it in the bank and not claimed it?
Depends on the amount. Because by the amount, by the amount and what I do, the customer reports it. Most of my stuff is Zelle. So I get to if it's under a certain amount, yeah. But here's the question: if the IRS was to flag me the first time for that, would I do it again the next year? No.
Gypsy, I would be careful calling other people scumbags when it comes to not paying taxes. Have a good one. Have a good one, Gypsy.
Bang gang.
That's all I got.
All right.
Maniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
I don't think that was the gotcha that Ted thought it was going to be, but I digress. Joe, well done. Hour and 40 minutes flew by, and I still got so many people on hold. This is going to be a long one.
Yeah, enjoy it. I'm gonna have to go back and see who won or the concession speeches or not or whatever's gonna happen. So I'll definitely be tuning in next week. Like you said, no film review because who cares about film 2 days before the draft? We have I know you have the countdown, right? We're 9 days, 2 hours and 9 minutes away, whatever that math is. So
sounds right.
Yeah. So I'll see you guys next week. We'll talk big board and whatever else, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's our guy Joe Blewett. Go follow him on X. Check him out, Jet X Factor. The Blewett film reviews on YouTube are a must. Gator, I missed your super chat, but let's be real. We'll get to it next week. Also, whether Briga or Gary gets more votes, the winner is Jesus. I agree. Marvelous in the raffle for 5. He gifted 5 memberships. Let's go.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Marvelous. Thank you very much. Keep it rolling with your calls now. Let's say hello on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline to Jay Quest. Hello, Jay Quest.
Jake, what's up, brother? How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good. Shout out to Ted in admitting tax fraud on the Jake Asman show, bro. They're coming for him.
The IRS is out there.
Yeah, exactly. I had a question for Joe. Maybe you could answer it. I saw it on Twitter. Not sure if you saw it. Dallas is looking to possibly move up. They have 12, 20. You guys talked about that already or no?
No, we did a show last week about trade proposals, and that exact trade with the Dallas using 12 and 20 to come up to 2 was discussed. I would do it.
That would be enough, though. Would you want more? I feel like I would want more.
I would probably want more because based on the point value chart, you can get more.
Right, maybe a second round next year. Maybe I would think. I mean, I would love that. Personally, I want to trade back because 2027's loaded. I'm not looking past this season personally, but I do feel like it's not going to be great, right? Let's be honest with you. I know, Lou B and Neil want the quarterback and everything, but personally, let's get some other pieces in there and maybe get the quarterback in 27 or take Simpson at 33, personally. That's how I feel about it.
Well, you can even take him at 20 if you really like him because then you would have 12, 20, right. 33, and yeah.
Right, then you get the 50.
I agree with you, though.
Yep. Top of that, yeah. With this whole thing with the votes, right, no one's creating 50 accounts, right? Let's be honest. At the same time, Jake, how many subscribers do you have?
Almost 45,000, which I hope anyone who did create an account just for this, please subscribe to my channel.
Exactly. Right. So I have 2 accounts and they're both subscribed to you. My wife subscribes to you. My kids are subscribed to you. You know what I mean? We try to build your brand as much as possible. So I don't think anyone is trying to hurt you. I think if they do that, they're probably going to sub to your channel, I would assume. Right. So it's going to happen. Maybe I voted for Dave Briga 3 times. Who knows? You never know.
Now you're a Gary guy.
I know I'm a Gary guy. Fuck it. Yeah. And by the way, all right, real quick with Briga, he's like, oh, the Goomba word. Neil said it. Even if he said it, that's not a bad word. I don't know where he thinks that's from. I'm first generation Italian. My parents are born in Italy. Okay. Goomba is like a pal. It's not a bad word. I don't know why Dave thinks that's a bad word. It's really not a bad word at all. Okay. I lived in Italy when I was young. Okay. It's an American thing. Maybe his dad didn't like it because it was an American Italian word, but it's not a bad word at all. Dave?
Look, I'll take your word for it because I'm not Italian, so I don't know what it's offensive.
It's not a bad word. I don't know why Dave thought that. Maybe his dad didn't like it because, like I said, it was an American word. The slang and stuff like that. So, but hey, listen, vote for Gary. If you don't, it's okay. And if Gary does win, man, Black Gypsy versus Gary or Bonesy versus Gary is going to be epic, I think, personally.
51-49, Gary currently leading. It's been fascinating to see the back and forth of this battle.
Yeah, it's so close. A
lot of burner accounts have been made.
Creating, I have my 2 accounts. I'm not going to create an account just to vote for Gary. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, I guess people are doing it, but it is kind of lame, but there is no rules, Jake. So it is what it is. Vote Gary 2026. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jake West checking in, voicing his opinion on the battle. All right, keep it rolling with your calls right now. But first, let me shout out Marvelous. Did I shout him out already? Marvelous, if I didn't shout you out, I'm shouting you out again. You're in the raffle for 5.
Can't wait.
Keyshawn Johnson, signed helmet up for grabs at the end of the program. More of your calls. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a highly contentious show, so I think we all need to just take a little bit of a Cho pill. Gator says, I think Big Cho might need an intro.
Big Cho.
Yeah, it's nice. I like my recliner. No, I just called to check in.
Big Cho.
I don't like all those wrinkles on my head. I don't have that many wrinkles.
We're talking about Big Cho.
My implants are coming in 3 months.
The Kardashian ones?
I put the jet gear on for you. Been running some errands early. Came home just chilling.
Jay. Big Cho.
What's up, my brother?
How are you?
Doing well. Just sitting back, chilling, listening to the show, taking it all in.
Big Cho.
Who'd you vote for?
I voted for Briga.
How come?
Again, I'm not big on. Personally, I don't have anything against Gary, but I don't really like the things he says about women. Like I've said in the past, several women are most influential in my life. And so I don't like it when someone would disgrade women. I have one daughter. I have a sister. I do have some stepbrothers, but I have a biological sister. My mom, God rest her soul.
We're talking about Big Cho.
My mother-in-law. I mean, just have a lot of women that are very influential in my life. So I don't like it when people disgrade them and say they can't vote. And I think it makes no sense. Big Joe. But my thing is, I just let people go back and forth with each other on this show. It just reap the benefits. Because a lot of people are going to vote for me because they don't like the person I'm going up against. And that's the same thing that's happened with Briga and Gary. So I just sit back and reap the benefits of what's going on.
Well, it's been a highly entertaining battle.
Yeah, it has. I didn't get a chance. I worked about an 8-hour, 10-hour day yesterday at the office. Who won? I didn't get a chance to vote. Who played and who won?
Big fella defeated the Australian Jets fan.
Oh. Was it close or?
It was great. Yeah, very, very competitive.
We're talking about Big Cho.
The Australian Jet fan has a lot to be proud of. He was like the 11th seed or something, wasn't he?
They call him the Kangaroo Killer.
Into the fire with you.
When do I go up against Charles? On Thursday?
You go up against the Charles Gorman on Thursday. And how about the fact Dave Briga has endorsed you, Big Cho?
I know, I saw that. I appreciate that, Briga. Appreciate that big time.
Big Cho.
I'm here for the working man. Like I said, I put about a 10-hour day in the office yesterday, and I'm 60-year-old.
Well, Big Cho, you keep doing your thing, all right?
Definitely will. Been on the recruiting trail last weekend at 60. So I keep it rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, Big Cho.
Jets, Jets.
More of your calls right now. We're skipping the line for this next caller because, ladies and gentlemen, he wants your vote.
I need y'all to make 50 fake accounts, 50 burner accounts. They're not fake, they're real accounts. They're just burner accounts. And then go vote for me from all 50 accounts.
You're on.
Hey, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I wanted to get my dog a walk before it started to rain. Wanted to thank everyone who did vote for me. If you haven't voted, or if you have more accounts that you can vote from, of course, vote for your iPod. Do vote for me. Appreciate everyone who does. And can you put up Mimosa's super chat again? I thought that was funny. This is what I'm talking about, right? This is how women vote and why women shouldn't be allowed to vote in anything of significance. First off, I don't make you feel anything. I don't control your emotions. As you can see, she's voting on emotions. I feel. I voted not because I think, but because I feel. She's telling on herself. Do you see now? Do you understand why you can't have women voting? He made me feel bad. You're voting on feeling, and you're not even taking any accountability. There is nothing women hate more than accountability. You're blaming me for how you feel. And then the rest of that is just cope, right? Like, I don't count on anyone. Sweetheart, the house you live in was built by a man. The car you drive in was built by a man. The oil you put in your car was drilled by a man. The road you drive on was paved and maintained by men. The office that you go to work in to serve your male boss was built by a man. So what you're saying, everything in your life, and then you go home and all of your OnlyFans subscribers are all men. Everything in your life, your account, is given to you by men. Everything. So to say that I don't need anything from anyone is absurd. Without men, your entire life falls apart. Everything in your life is taken care of and controlled by men. Your boss in your office is a man. The CEO of your company that signs your check is a man. What you're saying is I'm totally subordinate to men so long as they sign my check. That's what you've said. I just wanted to comment on that. How's it going, Jake?
Good. Any other thoughts?
No, that was it. And that was pretty much it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary 3D Boxing.
No, you're wrong. Wow, what the? Oof, that hurt. Where am I? The moon? Seriously?
Vote, vote, vote. Gary the 1 seed, Briga the 4 seed. 52-48. Gary is leading. And I disagree with basically what Gary said there about Mimosa. That's pretty messed up. I did like Mimosa writing, Gary, you're an asshole, though. I did enjoy that comment. John's new chapter in the raffle for 2. Gary will never learn from women with that attitude. Talking more doesn't make you smart. Let's see. Well, chat's going off. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is...
Purple Belt Mike, he loves the dark night. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that Purple Belt Mike. Purple Belt Mike, he might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something about the Goomba thing. So I don't really think that's an insult. It's more of like a term of endearment for us, you know? Like Dean Martin, legendary Italian singer, he in the song Mambo Italiano, he says Goomba in there. It means like friend or whatever. But you could be derogatory and say, look at those Goombas over there or something, you know what I mean? Then it's derogatory. But just saying, hey, Goomba as a friend, I think people take it a little too serious and a little too much. So I guess context is really the key here, what matters, in my opinion.
That's really what people are focused on after that call from Gary, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So whatever. Gary exploded there. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was like,
Just going off on Mimosa.
Going
Ridiculous.
off, dude. Mimosa should be your ally, not someone you'll go against, man. So I don't know if I can't see the polling, so I don't know if it went up or down, but I would assume it went down.
52-48.
Oh, it went up because you said it was 51. Yeah.
That was
All right,
before.
well,
It was 52-48 when Gary called in. It's still 52-48.
Yeah. I still
We don't know how many votes of the people that voted
Burners?
were Just Gary burners.
I need y'all to make 50 fake accounts, 50 burner accounts. They're not fake. They're real accounts. They're just burner accounts. And then go vote for me from all 50 accounts.
Oh man, this is so funny. Taking it too serious. If you got to do 50 accounts, if anyone's got to make fake accounts, then who cares? Whatever. All in good fun. If you're gonna take the time out of your day to do it, then you should win. If
You
want
better
it that bad-
subscribe to my channel.
Yeah.
If you're gonna
if you
make
want it that
50 fake
bad that you're
accounts.
making fake whatever, then you should win because that takes a lot of effort. All got to create email accounts and whatever else. Like who the hell has time for that?
Yeah, and like it actually takes time to make accounts.
That's a lot of work. So if you're doing it, then you know what, you deserve it.
Mike, well said. Appreciate the call. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Ro, who's on the line. Hello, Ro.
Hey, how's it going, Jake?
Hey, Ro.
Hey, I don't have anything football for you right now, but I did want to introduce you to the newest ASMANIAC, Zoran Blitz. Yes, as in football Blitz Delgado. He's a little sleepy right now, but
Wow, congratulations, bro.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate
That's
that.
awesome. Well, do me a favor. Shoot me an email. I want to send you a ASMANIAC onesie that Zoran can grow into.
Oh my God, thank you so much. That'd be amazing. I will definitely do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Congrats, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And then also, I just wanted to say, vote Briga. The things that Gary says are like borderline disgusting and not okay. So that's just how I feel about it, and just leave it at that. But yeah, that's all I got for you. Take care, Jake.
Ro, thank you. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Congrats to Ro and his wife. Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a raffle coming up at the end of the show, so make sure you enter for your chance to win. Also want to tell you guys about our sponsor. Our sponsor is PrizePicks. Look at your screen real quick. Here's a lineup card that I put together for Yankees Angels later. I won yesterday with two of them. Take you kind of into my thought process for the one I put together. So Judge to have at least one strikeout. I love Aaron Judge, but if I could make some money on him striking out in one of his plate appearances, I'm going to do it. In his recent games, he has struck out at least one time in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. So check that one. And then Jorge Soler of the Angels, I think he'll strike out at least once. Why? Well, in 4 of his last 5 games, he has struck out at least once, including twice last night. So I put those two together, put together a lineup based around that. $10 to win $14 over at PrizePicks. It is a $10 to pay out $14 2-pick power play. Simple. Game starts in about an hour. You could mix and match any sport, any lineup you want to put together, but I chose a basic one just to showcase that on the show today. So again, make your own lineups. Follow me on PrizePicks at Jake Asman and check it out for yourself. But most importantly, when you download the app, use code HMA, play $5 to get $50 instantly in lineups. All right, let's get back to your calls right now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. Standing by is none other than a man with not one, but 2 intros.
Gator, I don't understand why I don't have an intro. Gator, I need an intro, buddy, a cool intro, please. I've been calling in, supporting Jake for over 4 years. You got Adam is too cool, Papa 73, and I don't understand why you won't create one. Women.
You have no sense of humor, that's the problem.
I don't.
When you have a sense of humor, then you can have an intro.
I'm worthy of an intro.
All right, fine.
I don't understand why I don't have an intro.
Hey, Jake, how you doing?
What's up, Rob?
Lovely sound of Long Island.
Beautiful day today, man. 80 degrees. Unbelievable.
Gorgeous, right? Well, I'm calling, Jake. Let me ask you a question. When we had Robert Saleh as our coach, okay, after the second and third year, what did he accomplish defensively? What did he accomplish?
Well, by year 2, they were a top 3 defense in the league.
Correct. How many wins that year?
They won 7.
Exactly. You know what, dude? I'm happy with us getting a couple of defensive guys. I know that we need it. We have already went into free agency and have done a lot of that already. We have to concentrate on offense now. I'm sick of the stat that you said before was pretty horrific, that we not had a top 10 offense in how many years?
Well, the Jets are the only team since 1970 to go 10 years in a row with the lowest scoring offense and yards per game offense.
I tell you, Jake, I mean, the hits just keep coming. I'm tired of it. I'm freaking tired of it. I want them to concentrate a little bit more on the offense. I do. You know, I understand about the second pick, if it's Reese or Bailey. We can keep on going back and back. I say Bailey, you say Reese, whatever. Okay? But you know what, Jake? At the end of the day, we need a number 2 wide receiver, no doubt about it. Where you and I differ a lot in opinions are I want Ty Simpson in a worse way. I don't, want to wait until the following crew to come in for 2027. But bottom line is they have to focus in on offense because the defense already is a decent amount better. Now, we can get other guys, even pass rushers, Jake. I mean, you got other pass rushers who can come out even in the second round. Folk, who's a good pass rusher. You got the guy from Miami, who's another pass rusher. I mean, there's a couple of guys who are coming out in the second rounds that are not bad, that are good players. I think we have to focus in a little bit more on the offense, to be honest with you. What do you think of that so far?
I mean, look, I've been saying it forever. Right? They need to come away with a receiver, I think, night 1. And if they doubled up on receiver on night 2, I would understand. They got to score points. And they should probably look to draft another tight end at some point in this draft. Like, don't be satisfied with Jeremy Ruckert being tight end 2. Keep adding to the pipeline. They need to keep adding weapons. I mean, the Jets' offense has been a joke for far too long.
I'm with you there. And just let's stop. Let's concentrate on the offense. The defense has already been improved. Okay, I'm not saying to stop there. It's not what I'm saying. But we can get the rest of that in the later parts of the draft via trade. Let's concentrate more on the offense because any wide receivers that we trade for, you're going to have to pay them a lot of money. If we get it in the draft, there's even Cooper, who's probably probably a second round. I'd be happy with him as a wide receiver if he fell into our hands right there. I would take Cooper. But you know what? If not, and we can get a guy like Tate, of course, I would take Tate before him. But, I mean, let's focus in on the offense, Jake. And as far as these 2 guys going after it, Gary and Briga, I tell you, Jake, really hard for me to vote for one of these 2 guys. I mean, I like both guys in my own way. I don't dislike Gary. Gary's a little outlandish. He's a little nutty. He says some crazy shit. But there is a couple of things that Gary says that I do agree with. Now, Briga, he's old school. He reminds me of my dad, the way he wants things done and go to work and stuff. And that's respectful, too. So it's kind of hard to pick one of these guys. So, honestly, Jake, I think I'm not going to vote at all.
Wow, you got to vote, Rob. Everyone's got to vote. Just don't vote more than once.
I hate
callers,
that.
Though.
Don't get me started with these idiots who are voting 40, 50 times. That's bullshit. I think Black Gypsy is 100% right about that. One vote, one person. Knock that shit off. But I don't know, Jake. It's hard for me. So you're telling me I have to vote here, huh?
Well, I mean, you don't have to do anything, but you have to exercise your right as an Asmaniac to vote hopefully one time in this election.
All right, I'll think about it. And maybe I'll cast my vote for one of them. I'm not going to let anyone know what I'm doing here, but I'll vote for one of them, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob from Glenhead.
Gator, where is my intro? I need a cool intro. I've been calling in, supporting Jake for over 4 years. You did intros for Papa Jet, and Adam is too cool. I'm worthy of an intro, Gator. I don't understand why I don't have an intro. You suck, Gator. You really suck.
Leon writes in, if Rob had 10 burners, would they all ask for intro songs? JD says the committee has failed. Wow. I will defend the committee, JD. How are they supposed to know people are going to take this thing this seriously and make all these burner accounts? I think the committee was in a tough spot here. All right. I really do think that. Look, it's not easy. This is not a job that everyone wants, but it's a job that we had to do. And I think the committee did a great job. And look at the battle right now. 51-49. It could be anyone's ball game. I'll tell you what, I need to count raffle names. So make sure you enter. This is your last chance. I'm going to play a video. And at the end of the video, we'll do the raffle. I do have a call or two I want to squeeze in. And then the raffle. And then we'll close voting. So home stretch. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back right after this.
I don't think people walked on the moon. Right?
Explain this then.
Yeah, you were there.
Half the other calls call in and tell Charles to get a job. But if I tell a woman to stop being loud, get a husband, and stop being a hoe, I've crossed the line. But telling Charles every day, he knows he's fully aware that he needs a job. But I just wanted to go back at Briga. He's my least favorite person I think I've ever spoken to. And I mean that in a real way. How's it going, Dave?
You're far from extraordinary, my friend. You reach fireball levels calling me worthless, okay?
Of no value.
That's all I can say.
Just to clarify, of no, but by worthless, I meant of no value.
You're a valued person. All you do is condemn people.
I don't condemn anyone.
You condemn everybody else.
Who did I condemn?
Everybody all the time you're on there condemning
a single person. That's one lie. Continue.
Hey, don't ever call me a liar. Fat mouth. Don't call me a liar, fat mouth, okay? Hey, I'm 32 years older than you, and I don't fear you one bit, buddy. You shut your mouth about me. You call me worthless. You crossed the line.
Conversation. This is going to
You're an idiot.
This guy doesn't listen.
I'm listening. Go on. I'm listening.
Talking.
Spout it out, bird brain.
Shut the hell up. If you want an answer, shut your mouth.
Say it.
What's your question?
What's your question? What's the question,
I don't have a question. You asked me a question, you retard. This is
You're a retard. You know what? I'd like to knock your face out of that wall.
I don't care
what is your daily activity? What do you do all day? What do you do all day?
When you ask a question, wait for the answer. Okay?
Okay, answer. I've asked. I'm waiting.
You're 74 years old. You have no basic social skills. Just shut your mouth and stop talking. 74 years old and this socially retarded.
Hey, don't ever call me retarded. Hey, fat face. Don't call me retarded.
Stop talking. You're 74 years old and no one ever taught you how to have a conversation? It's amazing.
You're just a provocative person. That's all.
So is Jesus.
Don't compare yourself to the Lord. You're far from it, my friend.
I'm like
Christ. Well, okay, that's great. Are you born again believer or what?
Of course, I'm a born again believer. I was born again 13 years ago.
Good. That's good to know. At least you got one thing going for you. One thing.
I don't even like. I think you have a heart for Christ. I do. I just think you have no social skills. I think Christ can use you. I do. I think you have.
You know exactly. You know everything. You're a man of great value. The man that knows everything. The man that corrects people. The man that condemns people. The man that takes scriptures out of context on a daily basis.
Bobby to get a job. You do that all the time.
That's what they need. They need to have.
Why does Charles? Why? What says who?
Charles. Did you see the language this man used?
If Charles wants a job bad enough, he'll get a job.
He doesn't need
you to hold his hand.
I'm not holding his hand. He needs to be productive in life.
I don't know what Charles does all day. I have no idea what he does all day.
I don't know what he does. Probably nothing, you know. He likes
Charles. Charles is a grown man. He's not 16. He's a grown man. He knows what he needs to do.
He's not a grown man. He needs to grow up.
He's 32 years old or something like that.
He's 32. That doesn't mean he's grown up. Yeah, he may be sized up, but he's not mentally sized up.
If he wanted a job, he could go get a job.
That's what they're trying to get him to do. That's all.
He doesn't want to do it.
But he has to try. He's just wasting his life away.
Not only does he not have to try, he's not going to try.
He can't live like this forever.
He might get so desperate that he becomes motivated, but he's not at that point. I can't do it for him.
Well, we want the best for him, right?
I want the best for him. I'll pray that God blesses him with motivation. I'll bless that God blesses him with a job, but I can't make him go get the job. I can't go out there and get it.
He has to get to the point where he realizes that. You know, stop that terrible language. His language is horrid.
Fuck you, Dave Briga.
All right. Well, we don't have anything else to talk about. So
from the mouth comes an overflow of the heart.
Well, there you go.
Not you. You don't have a potty in your mouth, but people with a potty in their mouth have a sewer in their heart.
Well, yes, everything comes from the heart. So, all right. Well, take care of yourself.
Dave, be good. God bless you. I do think you have a heart for Christ. I do.
The Lord put it there, not me.
I agree.
It's all by the grace of God. So sin that remains, penalties been paid for, dominion no more, but the sin remains. Okay? God bless. God bless everybody. Come to Christ.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that Rumble had to have been Jesus Christ, right, Nick? I stand by it. That's who won that Rumble on that day. Now, who's going to win ASMANIAC Madness today? 51-49. Gary still having a slight lead, but it's anyone's ball game. All right, I started counting the raffle names. I got more to count. Shout out to Derek, the Jet fan, who gifted one. I got you down, Derek. Thank you. Donna also in the raffle for 2. Keyshawn Johnson signed helmet coming up shortly. 2 calls before the raffle. First things first, we have a rare sighting from Addison on the line. Hello, Addie.
What's cracking, Jake? How you doing?
What's up, man?
I just came to talk about the Jets. What do you think about next season? Yeah. No, I came to address some things that we're seeing on a different show that I'm not going to talk about, but not everyone on that show that you saw a clip up earlier likes Gary, agrees with Gary. There was no assignment or task or anything like that was assigned or accepted.
Multiple accounts for Gary 3D Boxing.
No, I did not make multiple accounts. I only have one. And I can't vote off Bobby's. I have access to Bobby's, but I can't vote from it. So there's no fraud coming from this side right here. Certainly not.
Integrity, as Dave Briga would say.
Yeah, I try to be the yin to Bobby's yang. I try to be the chill one, the one that keeps things even kill. We all know how Bobby could be. So I just try to be the opposite of that. And I'm not a cheater. No. Fuck cheaters. Sorry. Excuse me. But yeah. And Dave Briga, I love you too. I obviously voted for Gary. But it all came down to the love for Kobe Bryant, because that's how me and Gary bonded, was the love for Kobe Bryant. And I don't agree with everything he says, but at the same time, I'm not going to throw away a whole person just because I don't agree with a few things that he says. I know he could be crazy, but that's just Gary. That's just Gary. And Dave Briga, you say you want what's best for Charles. You want what he wants. What he wants is for you to stop fucking with him. Leave him alone. Let him be Charles. Let you be Dave. Let him be Charles. That's all you got to do. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Addison, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I need y'all to make 50 fake accounts, 50 burner accounts. They're not fake, they're real accounts. They're just burner accounts. And then go vote for me from all 50 accounts.
Credit the Addy Show for that clip that B sent us. Unbelievable. 51-49, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very interested to see who this guy is going to be voting for. Our last call before the raffle. Hit it.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about Jets, that boy, he's jamming. He's standing, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
What's up, ASMANIACs? How you guys doing today? So we have a couple points. So I agree with Rob. We know we need to get an offensive player in the draft. Shoot me if we go defensive picks. Shoot me. One of the worst draft decisions we've ever made. We need more offensive players. Like, our defense is decent, but our offense has been terrible. Either we get Tate, number 16, or number 2, we get Lemon, number 16 pick. And honestly, and my second point, ASMANIAC Madness, I vote for Gary because he's just a better caller than Beast. And Beast is gonna make the excuse, oh, it's rigged. Come on, Gary's just a better caller than Briga, honestly.
It's wait, did you say Beast or Dave Briga?
I said Beast is gonna make the excuse that it was rigged for Gary, but no, Gary's just a better caller than Briga.
You like Gary's calls better than Briga, so Mad Max voting for Gary 3D Boxing. But do I have this correct?
I have this correct, Jake. And honestly, Beast, don't make the excuse that it was voter fraud against Leany. Leany was just a better caller than you. Is Beast on the line?
You want to talk to Beast?
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, what Mad Max wants is what Mad Max gets.
Don't let go of the rope. What rope are you talking about? This whole team looks like it's shot to shit. Who the hell you think you are? I am.
Honestly, Beast, Gary's winning this matchup, and honestly, it's not voter fraud. Gary,
look here, you little 20-year-old piece of shit.
You have zero to offer. You're nothing but an egg-sucking low-life imbecile. Your IQ's no lower than toilet paper. You got no brains, no future. You're basically going to get dropped one day, and one of these days I will roll you up like a fatty, and I'll smoke your ass. That's why you're nobody. You're nothing. You're straight nothing.
Honestly,
I've done more bleeding than your sorry lame ass on a cold day. Kid, you couldn't lace my boots or even carry my jockstrap, pal. The only thing that you hold together is that little puny 100-pound body is looking like Darby Allin. Me, I look like a 272-pound machine that can run right through your ass.
Honestly, Beast, you're just jealous that you're going to make the excuse always voter fraud, but Leany deserves to win, and Gary deserves to win.
Retard! You're a retard!
The Jet fans
are
going crazy.
Beast, what do you do all day besides just sit in your lair?
Why don't you shut the hell up, number one loser? Get a life and find a brain. Why don't you go do that first? Why don't you shut the hell up before I come over there and belt you one with a riding crop? You need a good ass whooping behind the woodshed, you little prick.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
Mad Max, you asked for Beast. Do you regret that exchange?
No. I mean, Beast just does nothing. He just sits in his lair all day, Jake, honestly. And Jake, he's going to complain, oh, Leany destroyed him, and that's because Leany deserves to win, honestly, that matchup. And also Gary deserves to win, That's just my thoughts on it, Jake.
Mad Max, thank you very much for the time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am ready for the Wheel of Champions to be spun. I'm ready for it. Are you? We have a Keyshawn Johnson signed helmet up for grabs. It's real. It's spectacular. Someone's going to win it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on the master of raffle ceremony.
He smells like shit, takes a big fat dump, and talks like he's a man. Unfortunately, he doesn't know how to take care of women.
I'm just playing a little Beavis and Butthead right now, trying to, get my, act together. But I'll tell you what, I feel Italian. How about we do this? Hey, Vinny, come here. Let's tell them how it is. Hey, get this through your head. You only exist down here because of me. Don't ever go over my head again. Don't you ever go over my head again. Now, let's go over here to the Wheel of Champions. Let's get some winners, and let's see what we can do, okay? Now, bring me the wheel. We're going to show you how we do it, okay? Let's go right now. Go to that wheel. We gotta need a winner.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Alrighty then, Beast. Thank you. Here we go. Wheel of Champions on the screen. Real quick. Shout out to Philly Noodles who entered the raffle at the end here. Now hit the music. Let's roll. By the way, Ralphie Rocks, I did include you. I saw your super chat. Surprisingly, I'm Team Gary today, going with the Mets-Jets Hofstra combo and dying for a Gary versus Black Gypsy Elite 8 matchup. Well, Gary versus Black Gypsy is only possible if Black Gypsy defeats Mr. Bonesy tomorrow on the program. Ladies and gentlemen, super chat from Bottleneck. Gary's going to beat Briga because more Asmaniacs agree with his takes in the chat. Let's on. And then Fernando Velez super chatted. Screw it. Let's draft Tate, then Concepcion, Simpson, and trade up for Basantis. Go all offense. We spent all on defense. Let's have fun. I could see the Jets using 3 of their first 4 picks on offense, but Fernando, I think pick 2 is going to be either Bailey or Reese. All right, here we go. Keyshawn Johnson signed helmet. Let me shuffle the names here. Good luck to everyone. This accompanies everyone who entered during the first show and our second show this afternoon. If you win, you got to email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, your name and address so I know where to send it to. Good luck to all. The winner is Major Poonage I guess it's supposed to be major ownage, but I refuse to call it that. Major Poonage, you are the winner of a signed Keyshawn Johnson Jets helmet. Let's go.
And here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
The Jet chant. Congratulations to Major Poonage. He won this gorgeous looking helmet, and congrats again to everyone who entered, because you'll be in the weekly raffle on Saturday for the Wayne Corbett signed ball, Garrett Wilson signed helmet, Darrell Revis signed football. All right, on that note, it is time to close poll voting and moving on to the Elite Eight inside the extraordinary region is Gary 3D Boxing 51-49 over Dave Briga with 675 votes that were cast. It's Gary 3D Boxing advancing to the regional final in the extraordinary region. He will take on the winner of Mr. Bonesy and Black Gypsy. Bonesy, the defending champ, against Black Gypsy, the 2 seed in the region. It is going to be a battle. But congratulations to Gary, to Gary's supporters, to all the burner accounts. Gary advances, and the storyline, the drama, it only will continue. Dave Briga, valiant effort. Great job. Another 51-49 type of battle. Both of you were outstanding. If Gary was on the line, we'd hear from him. Same with Dave Briga. But we know both guys competed their asses off. Job well done. And in honor of Gary winning, we'll give you a little this.
No, you're wrong. Wow, what the? Oof, that hurt. Where am I? The moon? Seriously?
Gary has moved on. We're back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Omari Brown from U Stadium will join me. RSVP to the draft party. If you're coming to Pittsburgh, it's going to be an absolute blast. I'm looking forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, what a show. What a show. Got to process everything that just went down. I'll tell you what, tomorrow's afternoon matchup just added a whole lot of intrigue, knowing Gary has already moved on to the regional final. I'll play you guys out with a clip. Sit back and enjoy it. In honor of Gary winning, here's maybe the best part of Gary. Go Jets.
And this is my nanny, babysitter, assistant, helper lady.
Hello.
Hello.
She goes to Oklahoma.
Morgan, how long have you been a nanny to Decker?
3 years. Since 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
You and Gary's wife have done a great job, because there's no way Decker turned out the way she did because of Gary. I'm just catching up on some of the comments here, and this is for everyone. You know who you are.
Calm your freaky down.
Just saying. Eric says, good thing Jake didn't put Bobby on. Could you imagine? Some of these comments, man. Jake, you don't want to read the comments. Oh, it's true. I can't even read these comments, man. You guys are terrible. Gary, what are your thoughts on everyone seemingly being a big fan of your nanny?
She's fantastic. She's the best.
She is. That she is.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the time. Gary's nanny needs her own emoji. This chat is going wild today, folks. All right. Richard Todd is watching the show in delay, says, just saw Gary's nanny. Interesting. What's so interesting about it? Top Cat says we need Scott to normalize the chat again.
I need y'all to make 50 fake accounts, 50 burner accounts. They're not fake. They're real accounts. They're just burner accounts. And then go vote for me from all 50 accounts.